We are live. Smile.
No one's on the look yet.
There's nobody. We got 7 thumbs up already, although everybody probably said
There
they're
they are.
20 minutes late. So,
Technical difficulties.
okay,
There it
guys,
goes.
if you were here waiting, both of you,
Both of you.
this is
All
what
4 of us.
happened. How to get my audio right and get the right
channel.
It stretches my limits. So, Chris,
We'll
what's
get it
been
figured
going
out.
on? Tell me your story. Tell me a
Went
good
camping
one,
this
though.
weekend.
You what?
Went camping this weekend.
Up in the
A
high
little,
country, hopefully, where it was
yeah,
cool.
oh, real high country. Man, it was still warm up there too. Tell you what,
It's hot everywhere.
it really wasn't raining. I was hoping for some rain. We all hope for some rain. So,
Hey, we got Armando Mata. Can't wait. Man, we had
Missy's
problems.
here.
Missy is here. All right.
Mhm.
Evening.
Yeah.
Arizona traditional. My buddy from up in northern Arizona there. And Tree Dog. All right.
We are on.
We're on. We're
Took a little while.
well, you know, I wanted to blame it on the program, but it was my fault. It seems like it's always something. Always.
It is. We get
See,
on here and talk just normal, and it comes up perfect.
I know. Oh well.
So,
And now
yep.
they're going to play the drums next door, but maybe you guys can't hear them.
I can't hear him.
Good.
So,
My
the
wife
only thing
comes
I
down
can
to
ever hear is Johnny's healer. That old healer don't like to
barking.
be left alone. Yeah.
So John had a headache.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I'll be
Going
damned.
to bed. He gets up early, like 3.
Wow.
So,
Oh, there's my sister again.
hey,
It's my little sister. She's in northern Nevada up there. Well, are you in Joy? Are you in Windover now? She's teaching school. She's a school teacher. Don't hold that against her.
well, it depends on what she's teaching. The teachers these days, they've been teaching some weird stuff.
I think they're different up there. Maybe, hopefully.
Yeah. They're different everywhere on that coast, on that side. I don't know. They're not far enough over. I guess if
they're
you
in
touch the
Nevada.
ocean.
There's be straight north of you.
Yeah. If you touch
Right-
the ocean.
Right below Idaho.
Texas.
There's no ocean in Nevada. Where'd you learn your geography?
Is there? No. Is there?
Nevada.
It goes California,
Arizona.
Oregon.
You need to get out of Arizona a little bit. You
Well,
don't know.
Nevada's right above California. How much ocean's on
No,
Nevada?
Nevada is right above Arizona. Utah
Yeah,
and Arizona. That corner right there. That little
Yeah.
right?
Well, doesn't California? Your sister's a teacher. Maybe she could tell us. Nevada,
They're right
Oregon,
below
Washington.
Idaho. Right below Idaho.
Yeah.
But then they're east of all those western states. Washington, Oregon, California. They're east of there.
I have to look that up now.
Here. Let me do it.
We are close to California, but no ocean. I
Yeah,
knew there
they're
was
not
no
even
ocean.
that close to California.
Yeah, they are. They border California. My cousin lives over there.
Well,
in
yeah,
Walker.
they border it, but I mean, they're not close to the ocean, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, there's no ocean there. If there was, they'd all be liberal.
I'll show you a little.
Brett's messing with the computer again, guys.
There it is.
There we go.
Nevada is that blue state right there.
Yeah.
Oh, see, part of it is right below Idaho. She's right there. Wave, Joy. She's right there. And Oregon, Washington, California. So no ocean.
No ocean.
Too bad.
They got a river. They got a river that goes to there.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of water right there. Who said that? Who's 503? Is that Nicholas? Is that Charlie Boy?
I don't know. Let me see.
Joy said, here, see, I can do this. Do.
I'm over here. Well, they do the same in Arizona.
Arizona.
I don't blame them.
Corrupted a little bit.
Oh, they're bleeding us blue.
Tree Dog, how's the audio? I the live that I did on my other channel last night, I took it down because I had some comments from some pretty long-time subscribers that complained. They said, "Oh, audio is terrible. I couldn't watch." So I just took it down, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send it to a guy who's gonna fix it for me, and then I'll put it back up. Because I think it was a pretty good live last night. I hope so.
I caught the end of it.
I tried. It was long. I went 2 hours by myself. But I learned a new trick. For those of you who weren't in the other live last night, let me show off a little bit. I can go up here, go to source, and go to, like here, this is a good one.
His name was Jeremiah Johnson. They say he wanted to be a mountain man. Nobody knows whereabouts he come from, and don't seem to matter much.
See? That's a new trick I learned.
I tell you what, that I watched that Mountain Man Joe again today, and it's just like Jeremiah Johnson in real life.
How about this Laramie? They call him, he's a big old boy. Call him Sasquatch. He had a TV show.
Oh.
Laramie Miller? I don't watch TV, so I don't know, but
yeah, I
haven't watched TV in a long time. Tree Dog.
Man, he's going after you tonight.
I deserve it. With these other guys that commented, they weren't joking with me. They were really kind of upset with me. But man, most of the stuff I'm doing is like way over my head. But I try to learn. I got a little box that allows me to use this setup here. And see, I didn't have it turned up right last night. See, I can turn it up there now. Now I know how to do it. So anyway, where were we?
All right. Oh, I went camping. That's what I was talking about.
You stayed the night and set up a tent and everything?
Oh, yeah. So for Father's Day, my old lady got me this old Coleman tent. The old Colemans that have the hanging frame where he hangs from it. It says fire retardant on it.
Yeah.
And he got it for $50 from some tweakers, but it's in pretty good shape. I got a little tear in it this weekend and I was upset about it, but I'll get it sewed up. Just a neat old tent. And then, and I looked around for some other used ones and they're like $500. My son's a haggler. He haggled them down. They wanted $100 and he haggled them down to 50.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. But no, I made a video. My brother's like 29th. He'd been 29 years old, memorial. And we go up there every year. My kids call it the secret spot. It's not really a camp spot. And we leave, we take a bunch of brush and kind of cover the entrance so no one can drive in there.
Oh, is it do you hike to it or can you drive to it?
I camp down below and then we walk up a hill.
Oh.
So it's about half a mile up a hill. Real steep, not far, just steep.
Yeah.
So, and I figured out how to make cake in one of my iron skillets with a lid inside my Blackstone grill. I just shut the lid and
Cake. Did
yeah,
you make icing and stuff, or
yeah. Oh, I had bought a mixed. I had a mix. I wasn't that fancy. I felt like Uncle Papa Johnny'd it this time because I did a lot of cooking. We had street tacos Friday. We had elk and bear burgers Saturday, and I made kind of like a street egg taco
street
Saturday
egg?
morning.
Now,
Yeah,
what is a street taco?
they're just
Define that.
they're little tacos. They're about this. I just had them again tonight. My mom made some, but they're just a little
Tacos.
taco.
What do you mean taco? I mean, to me, a taco is a folded corn tortilla.
Oh no, we don't. So it's just a little tortilla. Well, I just used a regular corn tortilla this time, and I fried them. I put a little grease on the grill and I fry them. Put
Flat?
cheese on them. Yeah.
So it's like
Well,
a
no, I
flauta.
fold them over. I throw them on there, heat them up, flip them. Get the tortilla kind of cooked. Throw my cheese on it. Throw my meat on it that I already made on the grill. I just have it pushed over on the other side.
So it is
Fold.
folded.
Yeah, and then I fold it over and kind of squish it down. You'll see it in the video this next week whenever I post
I
it.
want to know now.
I'm full now. I just ate some more, but I take a roast. So now that when I butcher my animals, I don't cut steaks no more. I just cut big chunks of meat, and
Yeah.
I took a 4.5 pound roast out there and I cut it up and made some street tacos that night. And then
Do you make salsa?
I didn't make none this time. I just brought some. So,
What kind
but
did
we
you
usually
bring?
make our own salsa.
What kind did you bring?
Oh, stuff made in New York City.
Oh,
Paste, you don't remember that commercial? Paste pecani sauce. New York City.
yeah, I know.
Oh,
That's
get a rope. No, I just had some bot stuff.
uh,
Oh, yeah. I got a little lazy.
I'll be dang.
Yeah. I don't have a generator or nothing. I can't stand a sound generator. So
No, I don't.
if I make it, it's all by hand, knifed up.
Yeah.
And we
Cool.
couldn't find tomatoes. There was out of tomatoes when I went by. And my son went to Costco and he brought onions. These things were this big, man. They were huge.
Big old
One onion.
white onions.
I used it all weekend. So.
Good morning, Cameron.
So I ate good this weekend. I gained 5 pounds probably. I did more eating than I did anything else.
Hey,
But it's good to get out with the family.
we're a very versatile bunch here. No topic is beyond us.
No. Cooking show, yeah. I don't want to step on Johnny's toes. He's the cook in our family here, so
Yeah.
and Nick will be on later.
Nick, I wonder if George is going to make it.
He said he went to Tennessee to get a puppy. I thought that guy had just enough dogs already. He's Cody Kinging on us.
You always need one more.
Just one more dog.
Just one more.
He needs one more dog.
One more, I'll be able to catch that rough bear.
Hey, speaking of Cody, did he get back or?
I haven't heard a word from him. Knowing Cody, though, he'll stay till he catches a leopard.
One more dog.
Yeah, well, he'll just say one more day, and yeah, I'm excited. Wake up, Chris, wake up. Now we lost Chris. Is everybody else still here? Somebody give me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. Chris is frozen. Is it my program? Shouldn't be. Oh me. Here we go again. Oh, I got a thumbs up. Chris is frozen. Oh, now he's gone. Now I'm solo again. Do. He'll be back. There's almost like a little bit of a delay. Cody was on Gavin's Facebook page. It looked like a good time. Oh, perfect. Thanks. I wonder if they got a leopard yet. Cody's or Chris is missing. Whoop, here he is. No.
That was my fault. I pulled the bread. I got everything hooked up. My camera plugged in, mics, everything. Got my laptop plugged in, except I didn't plug it into the outlet, so it just died. Always something.
See, I got some new toys I can mess with now. Let's see. Jeff said, I listened to your live last night. Only bad audio was the first 5 minutes. Yeah. And then even after that, it could have been a little bit louder. I have a problem. I like the mic on these headphones, but I always have a little bit of an echo coming back. I hear myself.
Every once in a while, there's a little echo.
Well, I hear it myself all the time.
Yeah.
And it
kind of affects me. I only hear it every once in a while.
All right. Well, I hauled 30 bales of grass hay this morning. I had to buy the 3-string 110-pound bales, and I had to go to the bank and get a loan to pay for it.
Second mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it running over there?
I had to get my wife a nighttime job. So
yeah.
But
what's it running over there?
I don't even like to talk about it, Chris.
Oh yeah.
It's 20, 21, something like that. 22.
That's what it is up on the mountain. 22 to some places are like $30, $28. I pay 16.
I've got some damaged alfalfa coming, big bales that I bought. Yeah. I got 8 one-ton bales. They're big bales, and that'll last me until next year this time.
Yeah, I can get those. I think he told me $240 a piece.
Yeah, these are $210, and but they're just right up the road here. And I've bought hay from this guy for many years. So.
Well, that's what I was telling when I got off that live last night. When you got off that live, a guy texted me. He said, "Hey, did you say you could get a mule somewhere for free?" And I said, "No." I said, "You can look around and look. Some people they don't want to feed no more, you know."
Yeah, that's that Carl. He's wanting to get rid of a few of his mules.
Yeah, he has 2 of them.
3, I think.
Oh, is it 3? I thought he told me. He called me.
Did he?
If I knew anybody, yeah. I guess he did. He said he didn't sell them because he didn't shave them and make them look all pretty.
That's what I said. He didn't didn't
dress them up.
Exactly.
They're supposed to be broke. One's 11 and one's 17. Something like that, 13 and 17.
Let's do Mr. Old. Carl a favor here. See if I can get this done. I don't know where they went to.
Just had one in the rocks.
Huh?
Craig and Rebecca Hazlett. Hounds had one in the rocks. Sometimes, yeah.
There you go, guys. There's one of them.
Oh, it's a flashy.
Appy.
Yeah.
You know why the Indians were so tough in a fight, don't you?
Why's that?
If you'd had to ride an appy to the battle, you'd have been mad and tough too.
You're gonna start a fight. Oh, there's Saddle Tramp coming in stabbing again.
Let's see. Here's another one right here. Look at the big old. Let that saddle slide up on him.
Man, my little mule, she got her a straight back.
You keep the britchin pretty tight on her?
Not real tight. She just
That's Saddle Tramp. That's the guy that was fussing at me about my
audio?
life. He said that the audio was bad. Couldn't watch it. Just
Is that when you uploaded it?
Giving me a hard time.
I think he comes on here to give you a hard time.
Even that I can go live is amazing. I'm 60. I'll be 62 in November. So this is really.
I'm not all techie like old Nicholas. Nicholas knows the ins and outs of that.
Nick's
stuff.
the one. I mean, he's the one that should be coaching all of us.
Well, he kind of does because I'm always asking him 1,000 questions. Surprised he hadn't blocked my number yet. You know, finally he'll just say, Google it. Google it. No, I'm asking you. You're the guru. Just tell me what to do, Nick. Just tell me what to do.
YouTube, man. I mean, we're on YouTube.
That's what
you can get on YouTube and learn anything.
Mm-hmm.
I could.
Except one thing.
What's that?
And I was trying to look up that Frederick Gerstaeker.
Oh,
There's nothing on that guy. Nothing.
Hey, should we wait till Nicholas to talk about Ben Lilly and Gerstaeker and
4:11? Well, he said he wasn't gonna be on maybe almost till 4:35.
So let me make sure I got this right. Now this is the same Missy from Facebook.
Rabbit Runner.
That I'm sending a water bottle to. I believe. I hope so.
Nicholas's beagle friend.
Okay.
Right, Missy? That's the truth. Oh,
there's a little delay.
Yeah.
But yeah, she sent me a message on Facebook, and I'm sending her a water bottle. So.
You're going to have to order some more of those. You gave a lot away last night.
I gave 6 away last night. And I sold Missy. I told her $15 for one. And I think they cost me $25. That's why I'm so broke all the time. I don't make any money. But
well, that's me. If I sold soap, if I sold all my soap or any of my stuff, then I'd probably make money, but.
And I did get a super chat last night, $1.99 or $2 super chat. Yeah. The first time I went live a long time ago before I ever met Cody, and Cody came on. He gave me like a $95 super chat.
Dang.
I know. I was like shocked. Man, I'll go
tell
live every night.
I said, come back every night. $1 Tell him just $1 more. Just one more dollar.
Make it an even 100. But no, that was pretty cool.
You could do a little bit of your promos for. Are you doing any Onyx stuff today?
Am I doing any of my Onyx stuff?
Yeah, promoting them.
I can. Yep. Missy, give me a thumbs up. Yep.
She just wants her water bottle now. Whether she's the right Missy or the wrong Missy.
Everything I send to my wife, she's the shipping agent. And so she's in charge of getting all those out. And she's real dependable.
I told my wife last night I'm sending her to school for editing. So I don't have to do it no more.
Good.
So there you go. You can work at home. And she's a very antisocial person. Why she gets mad at me when I throw her on camera all the time.
My wife won't be on camera.
I'll
She
have to
gets
sneak
mad
it
at
in.
me. Gets mad at
Have
me
to
if I
sneak
get
it
the
in.
camera out. Let's see. What is this one? John from North Georgia Mountains. I hope the storms don't knock me out of watching. I wish we'd just get a storm.
Yeah. It clouds up here. It's supposed to be 30% chance, but I'm in a big hole right here, and it'll rain all the way around me. You know, I'm down in South Arizona right now, and it's ridiculous. Dirty hot. Louisiana. Georgia. What are you hunting in Georgia? Louisiana. They do a lot of hog hunting in Louisiana, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Down in
God,
those
I wish
swamps.
I heard somebody took a trailer load of hogs out of Texas and dumped them in New Mexico a while back.
I know a story about a guy who
Friend of a friend.
bought one of those razor, what do they call those?
Russian,
Russian
whatever.
boar from the San Diego Zoo. Now this is like one of those urban legends, and had a bunch of sows and turned them loose in the Pecos River.
So in Arizona, there's a ranch. I don't know if I should say the name of it, but they do a lot of those pig huntings. I used to sell them a bunch of my pigs. I sold them all, when I sold out of pigs. They bought all 15 of my pigs.
Chris, I got to ask you a question. Is there anything you haven't done? And you got, I know one thing you did do a lot of is you got 9 kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I got internet now, so we just stay on our phones. Yep.
Yeah.
I figured out what caused that.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no stork involved. I never caught the stork, so should have shot it if I did. Yeah, I got 9 kids.
No wonder you have to work so much.
You know what's crazy is I have them all. I have all my kids. I've had them all too since I moved to Sholo. They all went with me.
Well,
so, whether they liked it or not, I'm all they got.
That says something.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, you did say, Chris, find your niche. Find your niche. I'm like, man, I'm just a dad. That's all I can be is a dad, you know?
It sounds like you were a little more. I mean,
yeah, dad,
maybe,
the mom.
Maybe you missed your calling. Maybe you could have been a male gigolo. Or
maybe
that's
I
what
was.
a gigolo is a male.
Maybe I was, and I wasn't good at it, and I ended up with all 9 of them.
No,
might
but
be
you
more.
were. You weren't good at it, but you were productive.
I was very productive. Well, it's quantity, not quality. Yeah. But I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have kids. I mean, you know, I always talk about masculinity and stuff, but it's tough. And I'd like to do a podcast one day I want to go around and just talk to a bunch of dads and how many times they didn't get to go hunt because the old lady, you know, I work out of town all week. When I get home, you know, it's hard for me to just load up and go. So I have to spread my time wisely, or I'll be divorced again.
Well, I raised 2 girls. So, I mean, I know I was always there for them.
Yeah. I got 5 girls and 4 boys. Two sets are twins. I got a set of twin girls.
That makes my heart hurt just thinking about that.
Yeah,
Stress.
It makes my head hurt. I feel like Johnny right now.
Yeah. Johnny couldn't join us because he has a migraine headache.
Yep. Probably didn't want to put up with us, maybe.
Probably not. So, do you want to go solo for a minute, or do you want me to put on a video?
Oh, go ahead. I'll just start reading comments. Bear, hogs, coon might try.
Answer
Bobcat.
comments. Everybody give Chris a hard time. I'll be right back.
Bear, hogs, coon. I think it's hard to go from bear. I don't know how it is. How is it to go from bear to hogs? you're running hogs, you run them same dogs on bears and coon. And then Bobcat's so meticulous in his scent, you know. Dogs are trashier than Brents. The Brents, they hunt anything. That sounds like my dogs. So bear hogs. I'm curious of those. I get a lot of people asking me if my dog will run hogs. I don't know. I do have some Catahoos I bred for the desert, and they do good on bear. But I don't know if they'd run hogs. And what kind of dog do you run, Cheryl? Cheryl, I don't think it's Cheryl. Is this the guy that's using his wife's face or YouTube? Let's see. I'll wait for him or her to answer, or him, her. Introvert. My wife's an introvert, Missy. Bad. I made her do the exit on my video yesterday, and it's more of a blooper I'll play. So, my dogs are trash. Louisiana. A lot of hogs in Louisiana. What else do you hunt? Do you hunt any, what else do you hunt in Louisiana there? Louisiana hunting? Let's see who else is on here. Saddle Tramp. You were giving Brett a hard time. I think you hurt his feelings. Tree dog, a mountain cur and a walker mountain cur. If it climbs, it dies. I've had a lot of fox getting them trees and chasing lion. All dogs will run hogs. I wish we had hogs in Arizona. I was going with the story. Whenever they tree. You know, when I take people out, I tell them, they're like, are we on a bear? And I say, well, we're on a bear or lion or squirrel or coyote or elk or deer. We're on something. I had a dog chase a butterfly one time and bark at it right in front of a client. And I said I had to charge him extra for that. Live stream I've seen with commercials. Commercials? I think if you sign on, like right when you sign on, it will play a commercial because Brett's so famous. So, because when last night on his live, every time I signed on, it would play a commercial. I had a guy, Robert Dage. I squint a lot. I had a guy in Winslow, Arizona, give me 2 blue ticks. Said they was out of Lilly's line. Of course, he had no proof of it, and we've talked about like what dogs are Dale Lee's, and I know back east they say they have some dogs that are out of the Lee's stuff. But I don't know. If you read that book on Ben Lilly, I think he's getting dogs from the pound too sometimes. I don't know exactly. I don't know if there is anybody that knows like his exact line. He just got them from everywhere. Tree turtles. Oh, that's a tree and dog there for a tree and turtle. I'd like to know what kind of dog's been. If you look at the pictures, you look like you just had a mix of them. Oh, it just cut it right in the middle and played a commercial tree dog. That's kind of weird. I've never had it do that, but that's crazy. Yeah, if anybody else knows what kind of dogs Ben Lilly had, from the pictures, I'd have Brett pulling up. It looks like he just had a mix of everything. But I read that book. I read that book on Ben Lilly, and that guy was. I think my favorite part about Ben Lilly is when he left his wife. I I think that is a guy named Rusty from Winslow. But they were real skittish. Try to bite you and you bring him out of the box. But that guy was, I think his name was Rusty, and I think he worked at the coal mine because he always had coal laying around in his yard. Hey, Brett.
I'm back.
They say commercials are playing in the middle of this. That's how famous you are, I guess.
Everybody wants a piece of me. Me and Joe Rogan.
That I have a pound puppy that is the best thing going. Loves it. Bears. We went into the pound one time. There's this big red tick. He's like part bloodhound. I paid $50 for him because we took some lion scent and walked through there, and he alerted and got all crazy, so we bought him. And that was the driest ground dog I ever had in my life. He was neutered, of course, and he was. They said he was 5, but this dog was 10 years old and blind, and I ended up running him over because he was blind, and he ran right at my truck and just went under my truck on the back tire. I love that dog. Big dog. But I took him down in Tonto Basin, and we hunted him a lot. Dry ground. Too dry. Wanted to chase tracks that were just too old.
And you ran over him.
Okay. I did. He was blind. He would run out of the bush, and I would call him, and he'd look at me, and he'd look, and he'd run the other way because I don't think he could see me. He was just an old dog, and they passed him off. And I knew he was a little older, but
he was a good one.
Oh, that's all I was doing is exercising him when I ran him over.
I won't road dogs hardly. I say not, but I won't hardly road them in my pickup anymore. I ran over a good dog, and I got it on video. I was talking to a video camera when I did it. This has been probably 7-8 years ago, and I won't even watch the video. It was the worst feeling, worst thing.
It is.
I mean, it just. So now I got that Can-Am, that buggy, and I rode dogs in it, and you'd have a hard time running over one with that because it's so close to the ground. But it did. It ran him over with the back tire, and just sucked him up underneath the tire. It was terrible. No snow. It was in a sandy arroyo, and just a sandy arroyo, and I don't know. It was kind of. I lost both those dogs. They were full brothers, and they both. I've told this story before, but for those who haven't ever heard this story, it was about 1981 or 2. I was trying to get some hounds, and I'd heard about Mike Root, and I went to where he lived there in Cuchillo. He was up in the mountains, and he had a bunch of little walker puppies running all over the yard, and I wanted one of those so bad. And his wife told me, she said, no, said he doesn't sell dogs. He just soon hit one in the head as sell it. And and probably, well, it was about 6 years ago, I guess. He calls me out of the blue. I'd never even talked to him before. And he called me. He said, hey, do you want a couple dogs? I went over there and I picked up 2 of those. 2, they were nice dogs, real nice dogs. I liked them. I treated a bear with them. They started it and ran the bear. They didn't tree very good. They were just pups. But my other dogs treed, and it was a sow and 2 cubs. No, 3 cubs in one tree. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then the one dog, I lost him. He broke he cut that tendon on the back of his hock. And I got it healed up, and he was getting around fairly good. And we ran a bear way back in the wilderness. And I made a video where I'm back there, and I ended up spending the night out there in a rainstorm. And I had signal on him that night, and he was on the other side of the mountain. But according to the map, I mean, the grid lines were that close together, and the signal was coming down at the bottom. And I couldn't get over there to get him at that time. It had already gotten dark on me. And next morning, I couldn't find him, and I think he had fallen off that bluff. So I lost both of those dogs.
I had a real young female, Sydney. I still have her. She's in heat right now, so she needs to hurry and get out of it in the next week so we can go bear hunting in a couple weeks. But she had a guy who took hunting. He was a client, and then he got in the hounds, and he wanted this dog real bad. He kept offering me $1,500. You know, he just kept, and every time she did something wrong, he like, oh, $1,000. Well, we got a bear. We let it down and let the puppies chase it to treat again, and they all went. You know, she was young. She wasn't even a year old at the time. Well, she's up on this mountain and she hasn't moved, stayed in the same spot. And I was calling her, and she comes back. She always comes back. She would not come back. I had to walk up this mountain. And my buddy kept saying, well, $1,000, $800, because I was getting mad. She wasn't coming back. We get to a big old drop off, and it's like 100-foot cliff, and the signal's coming down there. And I knew I was going to look down and see her dead, laying there. I look over that edge, and that little girl just looked up at me because she had fell off about a 10-foot little ledge. She went to jump down to chase that bear and got on that ledge and didn't want to jump the other 60 feet off, you know.
Oh.
And I had to climb down a pine tree to that ledge and get her up. So once I got her up, I told him $2,500. I thought I lost her. Oh, I still have her.
Oh, do you?
So yeah, she's a good little dog.
When does your bear season start?
Next weekend.
It's too
But I have
hot.
to go do this. Yeah, I got to do that. Well, run them early in the morning. It was chilly enough where everybody else is wearing sweaters at night. It's
What
cool
was
in the
it?
morning.
What was the temperature?
I think it was like 50, 60 degrees in the morning.
When I went on that last little pack trip, it was 56 degrees in the morning. It was beautiful, beautiful. And then, but it still got, I mean, if you didn't get anything caught by 10:30 or 11, or even, I mean, you still toast a dog at 10:30. I mean, it got up over 80.
Well, I don't mind August. I get them out, run them. I call it my Western week, where you get them out and they just, you know, they haven't been out for all summer on running bears, so they just get it all out of them the first week or two, and then they get a break and heal up in September, and then October is when we really go after it. But I have those hound trials next week, and it's the final ones, and I usually the one that catches the raccoon and brings it. So
I rode mine, like I get out let's see, what is today? I think it was Friday morning, or I got them out and I was out at 4:00 in the morning, made a great big circle exercising them. But I try to get the dogs out 3 or 4 times a week, early in the morning, usually back at the house by 7:30 or so.
Yeah. My daughter's mother divorced me after 6 years due to the dogs. It happens.
My daughter's mother divorced me too. But it was because she found something she liked better than me.
Sometimes I don't know if that's hard to do, Brett.
I think it's pretty easy. But
you probably weren't as calm back then either.
I've just always been bad about just doing my own thing. I mean, taking off.
Yeah.
Back then I was rope, and I look back on it now, and I don't know, just strange things, going places, staying gone. I mean, I never was one to run around or anything like that, but just, even then, just going to the hills and or going to ropings, and, I might go to a roping and drive back and get tired and sleep on the side of the road till the next day, and just,
Oh, yeah.
And not working enough to make a lot of money, just working enough to get by.
Well, I never had enough had to worry about it. I could work 3, 4, 5 months out of the year and then hunt all winter. But before I got into dogs, I was a coyote hunting sucker, man. Every weekend, every night on the way to town, on the way home,
That isn't my ex-wife. That's my little sister.
She knows too. She ratted you out.
I forgot. I
But
thought she was gone. I didn't think she was still on here.
I had a friend that came out with coyote hunting. When he started coyote hunting with us, I'd be like, "There's a coyote out in the fields," and I'd jump out of the truck before he'd even get it in the park and shoot at it. And by the time into the summer, this guy was trying to throw it in park while his truck is still going. Here they'll getting out and shooting it before. But that guy could shoot. If it was 500 yards out there, he would shoot it. We called in a coyote and it was 500. I ranged it. I'm like, "Man, he's 500." He goes, "I'm gonna try it." I said, "All right." He shoots it. It says, "I shot him in back of the head." I said, "No, you didn't." We get over there and sure as heck, man, he hit him where he said he hit him.
I got a good story, and this is trick luck. I have a little Ruger 1022. Speaking of my ex-wife, she's the one who bought it for me, and I had a guy that was working with me, and we were driving down the road and down a little 2-track highway, and there was a coyote out there, probably about 50, 75 yards. And of course I pulled off and I got, opened the door and, right there where the door and it comes together with the cab. And I set that thing, pop, and that coyote just went, boom, walked over there to get him. And of course, then those pelts were worth $60 a piece. I went over there to get him. And the guy was looking at him and he said, "Where'd you hit him?" And I seen blood coming out of his ear. And I just told him, I said, "Oh, I shot him in the ear." He said, "You shot him in the ear?" I said, "Yeah, you don't damage any of the pelt that way if you shoot him in the ear."
With your pistol?
I
Oh,
was
your
just
1022.
No, my 10. I was just lucky I hit him anyway, let alone in the head or in the ear. But he didn't know any different.
There's nothing better than training yourself to shoot. Is when I started off in open fields, so our shots were hundreds of yards, open sights all the time. 30, 400 yards, we took the shot. AK, 500 yards, we took the shot. And I've always told everybody, it's not the shot you miss that counts. It's the shot hits it that counts. Yeah. My dad shot coyotes 500 yards with his 22 Magnum. I got that on video.
Really? Yeah,
I've
never been a big shooter. I don't shoot very much. Never have. It just never has been anything that really fascinated me.
When it comes to coyotes, the longer the better. And we just grew up with open sights. Yeah. As far as you can see, if you could see them, we took the shot. That's how you learn to shoot, I think. Oh yeah.
But that was shooting. I had a 204 that Encore with a bull barrel.
Yeah.
Bye, little sister. Now I can tell lies and nobody can catch me.
Yeah. Now you can tell all the backstories when you were kids. I have a video where we seen these coyotes, and the best camouflage. Everybody wears this a Sika or whatever. The best camouflage is a 500-pound cotton bale burlap. They used to wrap those big cotton bales in burlap. And I used to get those big sacks. We'd cut a hole in it, and just when you go calling, you just lay out in the field and put your head through that. And we seen some coyotes. One, my dad dropped me off, went up the road, started filming. And I was calling and calling. I was watching the one coyote, and he did come in. And I stood up and threw that poncho off of me and shot that coyote. He shot at him. He took off running, and I shot him. And I walked out to get it. And when my dad comes and gets me, he goes, "Why didn't you shoot those other ones?" I said, "What other ones?" He goes, "There was two behind you. When you threw that burlap off, it landed on the coyote behind you, and it couldn't get out of it." But I was so busy shooting at that other coyote, I never even knew. He says, "I didn't know where you were. I couldn't see you, except there was 3 coyotes triangulating on you. That's the only way I could see where you were." When you stood up, threw that burlap off, it landed on that coyote. So old 8mm filming back in the 90s.
I got a lot of film on.
Yep.
It was an 8mm. What was it on? Maybe it was.
Just the old little tapes.
Well, the little cassette tapes.
Yeah, and
that
then
you
we
popped
got
in the camera.
Yeah. Then we thought we were cool, and we got the little disc. You know, we got the little CD.
I never had the disc. Back to bear hunting. We keep getting off track here. How many bears are you gonna catch this year? Throw it down. And you got to have a video for every bear you catch, and you have to document the date somehow on your phone. Hold your phone.
Oh yeah, I'll take a
with
picture.
the bear in the tree. Say,
man, it's so dry this year, and there's no mushrooms out yet.
No excuses.
I'm gonna say, well, I'm going on. Well, okay.
You're already making. You haven't even said nothing. You're making excuses.
Last year was a bad year. Last year was a bad year. I catch over 20 bear a year.
There you go.
Least. Okay, so this year, and the reservation. This is my complaint about the reservation down there. Is all them guys bait, and why would those bears? I've just noticed a couple of them bears just stay down there and eat out of them bait barrels. You know, and where I hunt's close to the res, and I can get them off there sometime. I don't know. I think I'm at least 15.
At least 15.
That's what I'm shooting for. I'm gonna go some different areas. I'm kind of burned out in my area, but everybody burns out of that area, and they go all to the other areas, and then the bear will kind of migrate back. I think I didn't catch very many last year. I didn't go out a lot, but when you go from 20 to 5, you know, so I chased a lot, and they just hightail it right to the res. They know.
How do you can get around in front of your dogs pretty easy before they get on the res, or do you sneak on there and get them off, or what do you do?
On live, I'll say, yeah, I cut them off before I get to the res.
That's what I thought.
I mean, I have some friends that have to walk on or do about 200 miles an hour trying to get them. You know, I've tried to call them game warden. They never answer their phone. So I'll leave a message, like either on this side game warden, Arizona Game and Fish. I got all their numbers, basically. Well, they got all my number. So I'll call them, and if they don't answer, and I'll just say, hey, I'm going to go over here just to document that I did try to get hold of somebody. And then I got a couple game wardens on the reservation.
See that?
I can come up with more than that.
I believe that man catches lots of bears.
Yeah, where's he from?
Wisconsin or somewhere. I see him on Facebook. Yeah. Somewhere. I always have a little bit of beard envy.
I think I'm friends with him. Where are you hunting there, Blackbeard? Since you're calling me out. Midnight Blue Outdoors said he could join us later. Yeah.
And what about Nicholas? He should be around somewhere.
He'll be popping in. He likes to be a little grand entrance. Get your music ready for his grand
ready.
Da, 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 da.
Do I have one of those?
You better find it now. There it is. That's the one. You need the Paramount Pictures one. You know, when they come in.
Oh, I can probably get that. I can probably download it and put it on there.
Just for Nicholas. I like Nicholas. Really do.
And Hound on the Run.
West Virginia and Pennsylvania.
Man, I think those guys. There we go. Here we go. Are y'all ready?
Oh, is he here?
He's here.
See, he waited. He waited till we talked about him.
Is here, and
hey guys.
Grand entrance. There you are.
Now the show can begin, ladies and gentlemen.
We've been waiting. We waited for you to talk about
what's going on.
We've been talking about you. Your ears burning.
Well, you know what? I was actually listening to the live stream, so I heard you talking about me.
Oh, good.
Dang it.
It was mostly good.
Mostly.
It is true. I just tell Chris to Google things.
He does. He gets sick of me. I'm like, what about this? Just Google it. I don't want to Google it.
That's all I do. I've just gotten really good at Googling stuff.
I Google, you get on YouTube and type in how to start a podcast and you got 10 billion videos.
Yeah.
Or I just text good old Nicholas.
You got to find, someone you trust that that makes the kind of podcast you want to make. I'm an amateur. Nicholas is a professional.
I know. He's
not
all
even a
set
little
up.
bit.
He's got that. He uses that OBS. I had downloaded that one time and messed with it. And
he sent it to me, so it's the first one I used. So
there's no way. When are you going to start your podcast then? And are you going to allow me to be a guest on yours?
Yeah, I even got a name for it.
Me and Nicholas are friends. He comes on this podcast and he sends me this formal invitation to go on his podcast.
He was bragging about that to me. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I had to
'cause I'm a
pick a
gentleman.
time. I had to pick a day. I thought,
With
man,
Brett,
just call me and say, hey,
you busy? Let's go.
let's go, man.
Let's go now.
See, the main reason I do that is just because I can't do any math to figure out the time differences.
So, well, that. I can see that. I'm like that too. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. So what's up, Nick?
He released his
not too
podcast
much.
yesterday.
Hold your book up.
He has it ready every time now.
There you go, guys.
My book is
Get your book.
my book is
There you
called
go.
Fat Dog Chronicles.
What's
Put it in
your,
front of your face?
how do they order one?
Right there.
It's on Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, if you search Cat Dog Chronicles, you'll find it. Or you search my name, Nicholas Isaac, you should find it. I am very close to releasing the audiobook version. So for all of our dear listeners who cannot read, got you covered.
There's no
I will read it
pictures in
for
that
you,
book.
straight into your ears. Yeah, I actually thought about doing a picture section in the middle, like a lot of books do.
Yeah.
And I decided against it because I personally like the idea of people kind of painting their own picture of what it all looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I tried to be really descriptive of, how we hunt bobcats here in Oregon and kind of the methods, basically like rigging from the truck, all that kind of stuff. I tried to go into like excruciating detail about how all of that happens. And so, yeah, I left the pictures out so that you have to come up with your own, so you kind of have to visualize it yourself. Yeah. But I'm thinking about, yeah, I might do a second release of it with pictures in it because I got some really awesome ones. But
yeah,
I'll put a link in the description to your book also. Because I leave these up. So
Missy's making fun of you there, Nick.
you got this.
I know, what the heck?
Your forehead is really your makeup person didn't do a very good job.
yeah, well,
I just look like I've been out in the sun, which I haven't.
Can you on your OBS? Can you adjust your tint and all that?
You're not going through OBS on that, are you?
See, I can on it.
No, I'm not.
With this little program I use, I can get real small. I can get real big. Woo. Don't want to look up my nose, and then I can change brightness and dim to an extent.
Your picture quality, Brett, looks really good.
I've worked at trying to. I bought a new webcam. It's called a what's it called? Razor or something. What's it called? Forget what it's called. Razor Pro, something like that. And then my lights. I worked on getting decent lights. I watched some YouTube videos so I could learn how to do it.
I don't have my light. I just use my GoPro. So but I had to spend $200 and 3 hours on YouTube trying to figure out how to hook it up.
See, if I couldn't use anything like that because that's what I film my videos with is a GoPro, and sure enough, I'd get here and I would forget it at home, or I would be at home going to, to go ride us, somewhere, and I want to film it, and the GoPro would be here in the office because I have to have an office in town. Orders yours today while quantities last.
Yeah,
It makes any beverage taste that much better.
Oh, put something in here that you want to stay hot. Stay hot for a week. Cold, stay cold for a month.
Guaranteed, 100%.
Yeah. Money back.
All I got is soap, guys.
Oh, here you go. This is Gerstaeker. This is Chris's.
So Gerstaeker is I was listening to Bear Grease, and he reads a passage out of, it's called Wild Sports in the Far West, and it's Frederick Gerstaeker's journal. And he wasn't going to publish it. He ended up sending a couple back to his mom. His mom showed it to some newspapers. They printed it. He gets back to Germany, wherever he's from, and he's kind of famous for it. So he ended up doing his whole book. The guy just comes from, I'm going to say Germany, and he just wants to come over here and hunt. That's all he wants to do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's who you're talking about. Yeah, I've heard about that. I guess I
kind
probably
of
heard about it on the Bear Grease podcast.
He's right. It's a little slow. Like in the first part, kind of explains, and the guy worked on steamships and he did this and that. But when he gets into hunting and how he crawls through the caves and he goes to kill a bear and there's 3 cubs in there and they want to keep the bear cubs, so the one guy stays back. And these guys are using candles. That's all they're using is candles. They don't have LEDs. You know what I mean? They're using flintlocks and cap and ball, whatever. And he gets back in there. They kill the one bear and they have the 3 cubs. He goes into the caves, gets lions. Same thing. Shoots, goes out. What intrigued me about the story that Clay Newcomb had read on the podcast was when they shot a bear and they went in to get it. It was killing dogs. Yeah, it's the back of it, though.
How come they do that?
There's another picture on the front. I don't know why it does that. But he ends up, they shoot this bear. They both go in to kill it with knives. And the bear swipes his friend, starts tearing him up. He goes in to stab him, stabs him 3 times. The bear turns and knocks him out. Wakes up. The bear's dead. His friend's dead. There's 4 dogs dead. And his shoulder's dislocated and he's ripped up. It's a good book.
Sounds like a bad day.
Oh, and I mean, it's a pretty cool story because it's just, basically it's just his journal.
I put that Dale Lee #2 CD video, whatever you want to call it, up on YouTube. And Dale Lee, goes into saying how he thought Ben Lilly was the greatest hunter of all time. And that video, and I titled it "The Greatest Hunter of All Time." Of course, that caused a lot of people to click on it, and it's got like 16,000 views, I think, now. But I got a little bit of conflict. There's a lot of guys, saying, Ben Lilly wasn't the greatest hunter, whatever. And I'm sure at that time, Dale probably didn't know a lot of hunters around the world. All he knew about was Ben Lilly. And of course,
media.
And Ben Lilly was a houndsman. I mean, and that's what Dale looked up to, was a houndsman, and what did Ben Lilly say? He said, anybody can kill a deer or an elk. He said, it takes a hunter to kill a predator.
Yeah.
So.
Guy walked everywhere, nonstop.
Tough. I heard that he could stand in one of those, those 55-gallon barrels, those wooden 50-gallon barrels, that he could stand in one of those and jump flat-footed and land outside of it. Now, I heard that. That's pretty
It's
good
like
vertical.
doing CrossFit.
Yeah.
And
Before-
you
he
know,
was
they said
before his time.
yeah, he said that he could get into those those cane fields over in Texas, or those real brushy
Yeah.
stuff, and stick his knife in a tree and come all the way back around and find that knife.
Brett, I was listening to I listened to that chapter last night,
Oh, did you?
and yeah, I liked the part when you were reading from the book. I liked the line, he slept in a crooked tree like a wild turkey. I thought that was a great line.
They they said that he had a way of sleeping against a tree or up in a tree where he didn't get that cold. I mean, and that also, I forget which book I read it in, that like if he showed up at somebody's house, he wouldn't stay. He wouldn't stay inside. He'd stay outside, and that if they had something, this lady gave him a pie and like a big old jug of milk, he sit out there and just eat the whole thing, eat everything they give him, and sat there, but then he might not eat for 2 or 3 days. But I also heard
Like
from
a lion.
from a very reliable source, people that knew him, ranchers up here, that said, "Oh yeah," I said, "but you might be riding out to check your cattle and come over the hill, and there would be Ben cutting up an old dead cow, a cow that had died, and he'd be cutting up and eating, pieces of that cow raw." So there you go. So he kind of reverted back to more of an animal, I think, than a.
Well, they said he got crazy in the end too.
Yeah, they said that he was at that. What do they call it there in Silver City? Not a rest home, but they called it something else. But sanatorium.
Yeah,
There
sanatorium.
in Silver City. And they said that he used to point up in the trees and say, "There's a lion in that tree. There's a lion in that tree." You imagine?
Oh, he did.
Heck, I might end up being that way just because I haven't seen many lions in trees. I might just start making them up.
My favorite story with Ben Lilly is when his wife says, "You need to kill that chicken hawk," and he leaves for 2 years.
Well, that
And he finally gets back home.
flying.
Yeah, and he says, "Why'd you stay? Where'd you go?" Well, hawk just kept flying.
I believe that those dogs helped him get through the hills.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
I heard that when he when he let his dogs go, that he kept a dog tied to him because he lost his
yeah.
hearing, and and that other dog would be going to those dogs.
That's a guy who don't quit, who don't want to quit.
Don't want to quit.
You
I
don't wanna
like that
quit.
part.
Nope.
I like that part about him keeping a dog with him so he could go to the other dogs.
Go find the other
And I
dogs.
thought about that, and one of my dogs, Plum, he's a blue tick. I don't really hunt him much anymore. Like, he's basically my wife's running partner now. And he's a great around the house. He's awesome in every other way, except he just would not leave my side out in the woods.
Mhm.
And I couldn't even road him because he would trot alongside my driver's side door and wouldn't even get in front of the truck. So I felt like I was going to run him over constantly. So last year I pretty much just, sorry, Plum, you're staying home, buddy. You can't hunt with me
retired.
anymore. Yeah, you pretty much retired. But when I used to coon hunt with him, spoon hunt, he would be glued by my side, and he would actually do exactly what Ben Lilly was saying, of like, he would take me straight to the dogs.
There you go.
It was super. I didn't piece that all together until I heard you reading that last night. And I'm like, man, maybe I should bring him back out with me, because that could be kind of handy. And dogs seem to find the smarter ways to navigate the terrain a
probably know
lot
how
of
to
time.
go.
You know what I mean?
George had to go to Tennessee to pick up a pup, but he said he might make it later. So, I don't know. What was the?
I don't know how far he had to drive in there.
George is mad at us.
Is he?
Yeah, because you guys always make fun of him for fishing and stuff.
Well, this
We're
isn't
jealous.
a fishing podcast.
This ain't a thing.
You're right. We're not
Some of us have
fishermen
to
around
work.
here.
Every
You know, if
time-
you're
every
going to
time
be on
we
this
ask
podcast, you
George-
gotta be a houndsman, and that's all.
George
Exclusively,
works 3
yeah.
hours a day and fishes 7 hours the rest of the day, and then goes hunting. So we
He
have no
plays music.
sympathy
He's a
for George.
musician.
Yeah, and then he plays music
Is he?
at night. Yeah.
Yep.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
I think it's at his church.
Well, you're a
He goes in and
musician,
plays.
aren't you?
Okay. Yep.
I need you. There was a guy that watches my other YouTube channel. He makes guitars, and he's a
No way.
musician. And I sent him this
That's cool.
deal that my wife made, and it's a poem, I guess. But I'd like somebody to put it to music. Do you sing too? You do?
I can sing. I
He's one of them
generally
jazzy
choose not
jazz
to.
guys. Yeah. Anybody can sing,
Yeah, but is it?
but do you sound
Yeah,
good?
I can sing, but I don't think nobody wants to
I-
hear me sing.
I have a really hard time playing guitar and singing at the same time. It's just I get so occupied with what I'm doing playing guitar that it's not pretty when I try to sing on top of that.
Okay, well, cross that off.
We'll just-
But I
Yeah,
could
we'll keep it at
I
that.
could write you some chords to go with your poem. I could definitely do that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. My wife wrote it for me. I need to share it on here, and I don't know how. It's pretty cool. She's a real good poet. I just can't get her to she gets in kicks where she does it for a while and then she quits. And
What was that? You had a video, I think it was kind of recently, of an old I don't know if it was the whole video. It was a guy playing guitar and it's like a song poem. Who was
Oh,
that?
Mike
that's
Leonard.
Mike Leonard.
Okay, yeah. That is a cool song.
I'll share a little bit of it. Does everybody want to hear a little bit of it now?
Oh, you ended the live stream with it. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
Give him about 15 seconds of it.
I'll give you a little bit of it here.
At the first bench below that rimrock,
Hold on.
I stop my horse and listen, I can't see a falling sound off in the distance. How ghostly it seems to call to me. I press on to lower country. In the distance I see a lonely tree, and the sound I've been hearing, ghostly hounds are calling me. Old sycamore there by the river, I'm drawn there and I can't wait. Their tree.
Mike Leonard.
The famous Mike Leonard. Look how fuzzy I am. That's the one thing that's bad about this camera.
Can you
Yeah,
put
you
it
gotta
on
do the-
manual focus where it just stays or no?
Spirit fingers.
That's
That's how you get it to focus.
Or you just go take your hand to it and take it back to your face. Voila. I was going to find that poem.
There you go.
Missy, don't
Y'all hold
it
Missy-
down.
Okay, Missy
Y'all-
just posted, Nicholas, I've got a 76 Gibson Heritage Special that needs a good home. Just don't threaten me with a good time, Missy. What are you talking about?
Is that a good guitar?
Wait,
That sounds awesome.
Is she just giving it to you?
No.
I would think not. That's a
I have a
high dollar.
62.
I mean, anything vintage,
Yeah.
any Gibsons like that. I used to have I had a 1969 Gibson electric guitar. It was actually an acoustic electric. This thing was massive, and it was given to me as a gift, and it cost $7,000 at the time. And I ended up selling it because I needed money. When I was in my 20s, and I sold it for like
Yeah.
$12,000 or something. It was crazy.
You regret it every second, don't you? One day, Nick. One day, Nick will.
Yeah, I want to buy. I actually am good. I stay in contact with the guy, and I'm gonna probably try to buy it back from him at some point. Nick, do you ride mules too? No, I don't. And it is, I bring great shame on my family because I don't ride mules. So when I have
One
some
day.
property, man, yeah, one day, if I had property, it would be a mess. Like I would have all kinds of crazy animals.
I think I was just telling Brett. I said if Nick had 5 acres, he'd have 20 dogs.
Oh, easy. Yeah. Yep.
And your wife would have another 20.
My wife was like, "Hey, when we have property, maybe we should start a like a hound retirement home. Take in all the old hounds and just let them
Yeah.
live out their days."
Hey, you know what I got? I have a 62 Fender Jaguar with the original amp.
No.
Sunburst.
No.
My grandfather gave it to me.
No.
Nobody knows.
No.
Now they might, but
Can I have it? I'm just kidding. Those are
Yeah.
amazing guitars. I love Jaguars and I love Jazz Masters. I used to have a Jazz Master that was so much fun to play. Those Jaguars are super nice though.
Yep.
Is it in good shape? Like it's not all.
No. So whoever had it put a different bridge in it, but I took it into a guy to have the ground fixed on it at a music shop, and he goes, "Oh, I'll give you $1,500 for this." I'm like, "No, that's fine." Okay, I'll give you $3,000 for this. I said, "No, that's fine." He goes,
Those are worth a lot.
"I'll
of
give
money.
you $5,000." I said, "Now I'm thinking, no,
What do I have
I'm good
here?
now." Okay, $8,000. I can go $8,000. I'm like, this is my grandfather's. One day, if I want to sell, I'll sell it. But my grandfather left it to me.
Yeah, those things are awesome.
Yep.
Highly sought after.
Yes. Anyways, back to Ben Lilly, I guess. You know, there's I think in the book too, it says he'd be in a ditch with 20 dogs around him. That's how he'd stay warm, catch him sleeping in a ditch with piles of dogs around him. I know that's true because we went camping this weekend, and my 9-year-olds, they have this little military tent. You know, it's like the old 1940s ponchos that button together. They got these little military sleeping bags, and all the dogs sleep with them. I took those 3
That's
puppies
awesome.
I'm training right now. They all slept with them. So my lab had 2 big labs, slept with them, a couple Queensland. Keep them warm. And I had 2 dogs that I could let run loose on, and they would sleep in my tent with me. So, when we was talking about Ben Lilly with his dog that would locate for him, let him know where they are. I had a dog that if my dogs took off, if they weren't chasing something they were supposed to, he'd come back to me and stand by me like, That's how I knew if my dogs were trashing or not, that dog. But if he didn't come back, he would go.
I'll get rid of that now, but I think I will if I can. I'll hide it. There. No, I found it.
Oh, is that your mom?
Yeah, later on I'll share it if
Cool.
everybody wants to look at it. I forgot. I said she wrote it a long time ago about me when I was fussing about having to work all the time, being a big baby, really. So, anyway.
Did she slip in like a couple of good insults into it?
No.
Like he never.
No. Well, there. I'll show it.
You don't fix the door because he's out running dogs.
No, it's really pretty loving. But she's
nice.
pretty good, really. See,
Too
could you
small to read.
make music to that?
Can you read it, Nick?
I can't see what it
Oh,
says. It looks all
is it hard to
scribbly.
See? Yeah, it's just bunched together.
Yeah.
Wow.
One thing about this program is that you can't make it full screen.
Oh.
I know, that's what
Is there a way you guys make
No.
it full screen?
No.
Okay.
I wish I could.
I can't make it any bigger than what it is. I don't think. Yeah, I can make this bigger.
That's okay. Zooming in. Oh yeah, there we go. I just zoomed in. Look at that.
Oh,
Nice.
you just zoomed.
All right. What else? What else were we supposed to talk about besides Ben Lilly?
And Lilly.
I like
There's a
that he
good-
wrote a check on a piece of bark, and the bank honored it.
Oh, that's my favorite part. Any bank that the
Yeah.
bank would cash anything, he wrote it in on.
They said he had a
He
bunch
said,
of money.
Well, he lost a bunch of money too.
Now, here's another one of those things I heard about him is that, you know, those ranchers would pay him bounty for a lion that he would catch on their ranch. But I also heard that he would take the same lion hide to several ranches to collect money. Now,
Bring two
that's-
legs to the rancher and 2 legs to the federal government.
That's just something I've
That's a loophole.
Wasn't
Jim Corbett. That's
So, but-
the guy that everybody told me in the comments was the best hunter ever live. But I think he was over in Africa or somewhere. So I've never heard of him.
I never heard of him either. I'll have to look him up.
I put that in the title because it was in the comments.
And then you have if you go to YouTube and you type in Mountain Man Joe, that's a really cool little story. That's another mountain man that ran dogs, bear hunted.
Where was he at?
Mountain Appalachia. Mountain hunted all over there. Mountain Man, Appalachian Mountain Man Joe.
there's a
This
Jim
guy is-
Corbett National Park in India.
There you go.
He was an Indian-born British hunter.
I don't even think Joe has a last name. I don't think they knew his last name. It was Joseph. And his mom and dad came over from Scotland. His dad worked in a fur shop, got acquainted with all the Cherokees, and the guy was ripping them off. So he let the Cherokee people know they're ripping them off, and then they said, "Oh, you come live over here by us." Kind of let him live there, and he built a cabin. Had that Mountain Man Joe, and when he was a kid, they struck up that War of 1812, I think it was, and he went and died. The dad died, and then his mom was so heartbroken she kind of died. So he kind of just grew up around the Cherokees. And he was out chasing a bear. The bear was killing a dog. He went in to stab the bear, and the bear swiped him pretty good, and he was bleeding. He leaned up against a tree to stop the bleeding. Ended up going to the Cherokee village, and they saved him. And the medicine woman that saved him, he fell in love with her niece. So they got married. That's it.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Sounds very jumbled.
I like this guy. I like how he does this.
I don't know what it's supposed
Now,
to
this
sound
here
like, but it
is
sounds like
an
a
old
robot.
mountain story of the life of Mountain Joe, old mountain man of East Tennessee, back in the early days of our pioneer.
Look at that dog, too. What kind of dog is that?
So,
Now, this story
Fox
starts
Terrier.
out like so many forgotten stories of our past, the pioneers that come into this country. This is a young couple, his parent, coming from Scotland.
I'm gonna get rid of it.
Trying to get away from their trouble.
Pretty cool. Have to watch it later.
Brett's getting good at this stuff. Yeah, so he goes to the Cherokees. The medicine woman fixes him. He falls in love with the niece. They go build a cabin together. She gets sick, and she has a kid. They have a kid. They get sick, have a fever one night, die. So he just goes out and starts hunting bear. That's what he liked to do, is hunt bear. And he would feed the Cherokee people this bear. He'd show up and feed him bear and bring him meat. And then one day he just didn't show up, and they sent braves out and just never found him.
Wow.
Just
I'm gonna
it's
watch
kind
it.
of like a Jeremiah Johnson story.
Yeah.
you
But
know?
real instead of
Yeah. Charlie taint
instead of
Taint
made up.
in California. I read a
I
story
don't think
about
it's
him.
taint.
There's so
I
many
think it's
hound
taint.
hunters out there that
His name was Jeremiah Johnson. They say he wanted to be a mountain
I like
man.
that.
Nobody knows whereabouts he come from.
Oh well,
Brett's getting good at that, throwing those videos in now.
I'm showing off.
Yeah,
Well,
nice.
Before he tried it and we'd get shut off and have to restart, or he'd lose all of us. Remember, he'd lose all of us. Charlie
I've
Taint,
got
have you
this
heard that,
idea
Charlie
now. You know, I got lots of old video, but there's no story to it. It's just like a video a little bit here and a video a little bit there. Instead of like now when I go, you know, on a trip or something, or I go somewhere, I video a story, you know, leaving, where I'm going, what I'm going to do, and how it ends up. But back then I didn't. And now if I can sit here on camera and share those old videos, I can kind of narrate the story maybe. I don't know.
How hard would it be if people emailed you a couple little short videos, 30-second
I could do it.
videos you could play?
All you got to do is
That'd be
send them
kind
to
of
me.
cool.
Yeah, you guys send them to me.
Put your email up there. If anybody has a
Do a little
cool
show and
clip.
tell.
Talking tales. I
Yeah.
like the look of shorter tales myself. Or is it personal preference? What did?
If you-
Hold on. No, we got to answer this.
Oh,
The pros is if you have dogs that are really cold trailing a lot, and they're cold trailing in, especially in brush and everything, and they whip that tail while they're trailing, that they get what we always called it monkey tail, and it's a bloody tail. The end of their tail gets bloody. So you try to,
and
and
it bleeds.
I've docked mine too short before, and
I just did.
huh?
I just did. My last 3 puppies, one
Too
of them
short. And you
little
should
bit,
only
I
take,
don't care.
you know, a little pup has a tail about like that. Where's the
Yeah.
camera? About like that. So you take just
Yeah.
just a third off of it.
Well, when I first started docking tails, you know what I use? I use those emasculators for a goat.
Yeah,
real
that's
small
terrible,
One, not a big
though.
one for a cow.
Those old tails get
really?
swollen up.
Oh, mine never. I dip them in salt,
Salt. Wow.
and I got blood clotter too.
Blood.
So
Well,
if I
I
don't
never
have
had mine
blood clotter-
bleed, but they.
I've had them bleed, but
Sounds like you guys have different techniques.
When you're
Well,
saying
here-
emascular,
let me
you're
tell
talking
you.
about the rubber bands, aren't you?
No. I'm talking about the. It's like a pair of scissors, and it has like a
Oh, and it's
has a hook on it with
Yep.
a gosh dang camera.
no, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about
it
now. I
just
got confused.
well, so my ex-father-in-law used to just use dikes, and then I used to just I had a knife that I would just heat up, and I'd put it on a block of wood and just chop it
Yeah, you.
with a hammer.
There's
yeah.
nothing to
But
those
those
tails when they're.
emasculators.
If you do it
Oh,
while they're 3
let me
days
tell you-
old.
Let me tell you a story about the guy that got in the hounds that I took hunting. His old lady's she should probably be a PETA person. Is what she should probably be. But he calls me, says, I want to dock those tails. I said, this is how you do it. You know, he docks 1, maybe 2. The one bleeds. The second one, the puppy just cries. His old lady, they're probably watching this. His old lady freaks out. So he only got about 2 dogs that have docked tails. But my first ones, I
Hold on.
took
Hold
a
on.
quarter.
Hold on. We got a special announcement.
I made it.
We had people asking about you.
I know. Watch it.
Yeah,
Those views will go up now.
Y'all will have to kind of get me up to date on everything. I've been on the road all day long, so I ain't caught up with anything other than just now. I run in, I put the pups that I just picked up in my truck. They're probably destroying it right now, and hopped on here.
The main thing we've been talking about is why do you need another dog?
Yeah.
Oh
Cody
boy,
King.
ain't that the truth?
Cody King, just one more dog.
I was that's yeah. I've been hunting about not every day, but I've been hunting a good bit this last week or so, and yeah, a lot of my excuses has been I need one more dog.
Well, your camera looks good today.
Light. Good light.
I'm probably in a little bit better service, maybe.
Yeah.
It looks
Cool.
good. It looks clear.
We're all professionals now. We critique the way everybody looks on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
There
is
you go.
amazing what a difference lighting makes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I'll show you something. I got a light right there that just shines right on my beautiful face. There.
And we're
That-
so, we're sorry. We're sorry about Nicholas's shiny forehead.
He's got a lot of light.
Missy said he didn't powder up right.
We had talked about previously about having guests on our live stream. Any updates on that? Enjoy listening to you all. Thank you. Yes, me and Chris were talking about it earlier. We got, Res Hounds. I think he's running bears now. He might be hard to get. And I talked to Buddy from W Hunt and Supply. We need to get him on the hot seat and just really grill him. So, and
It's not as easy as they think to line people up sometimes.
no, it's timing. And I need one of those little fancy programs where you send somebody where they can pick the time and the date.
Yeah. Just Google it.
I'll hook you
You'll
up.
find it.
Easy.
Google it. You'll find it.
It's called Calendly.
I seen it. I tried to get it,
Get
and
it.
I forget. I had the wrong thing open, or my Google thing or whatever. No, I didn't have the password to my iCloud account, and it wants access to your iCloud. But anyway,
George,
and I'm supposed to go. Do you mind me telling everybody, Nicholas?
Me?
Yeah, that I'm supposed to go over on your podcast Wednesday.
Please. Yeah, that's the plan. Yep. Wednesday.
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 And he's gonna just really give me a hard time because I won't be
No,
in
man,
control. Because
we're gonna do
see,
we're gonna do
when
something fun.
when I'm in control, nobody can say anything. I can turn them off.
You're muted, George.
There you go.
He knows how to mute me now.
Oh.
George, you getting in trouble? What's up, George?
That Scruff just caught something. I heard him outside.
Uh-oh.
Probably got a bear treat out there.
Oh yeah, he should have took his phone with him. Oh, there he is.
Oh, looks like Charlie.
We got
Maybe I need to start coming in late. God.
Right?
midnight.
Come in late,
Midnight.
man.
What is your name of your YouTube channel?
Blue?
Midnight Blue Outdoors.
Midnight Blue Outdoors.
Why
Look at
you
that.
name it that? What's the
Midnight
significance
Blue
of
would
that?
be the registered name of my blue ticks. So it's
Oh. Gotcha.
Midnight Blue Ember, Midnight Blue Tiny.
He's one of them registered.
We
dogs.
didn't tell
I
y'all
only
that
have
we
one.
don't
Hoity-toity.
we
I
don't
only have
allow
one.
registered people in here.
Yeah. Well, he only
Yeah,
has
well,
one, so he can
highfalutin.
stay for a little bit.
And I only did it because the breeder asked me to, so he could keep track of her. So
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Well, we'll allow
George
it with
was
you.
here, but his dog's
I scared
treeing
him off.
something outside the house.
Scruffy.
Yeah, he's treeing. He said he's treeing something.
Huh.
What
So
you been up to, Charlie?
not much, just work.
no
trying to-
raccoon running?
Nah, it's too hot. It's too hot, too dry. I know that's funny for you guys, but it's too hot and too dry.
Yeah, you don't know what dry and hot is, buddy.
For us, it's too hot and too dry.
111 or 113 today.
What do you have caught, George?
Skunk.
Oh,
Nice.
It's y'all can probably smell it through the screen.
Oh man.
oh,
He literally just caught a skunk.
Yeah, he literally just. Thank
Dang.
goodness it didn't get him full blast, but it was up under. I'm on the edge of a little building right here, and evidently the skunk was under the building.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
so
There you
it
have
does
it,
not smell
live.
very good. Yeah, it happened live.
Live.
so anyway, back
So
to the
no-
guests. Buddy, Calvin Redhouse, Res Hound. I was going to get Nick Gill in, but he's kind of like everybody else. He's busy all the time. I always liked Nick when he had that podcast with no, it was his own podcast. What was the name of that? Nightlife.
Nightlife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nightlife
Nightlife
Channel.
Channels.
Yeah, I
Like
really
podcast
enjoyed
or something like
when
that.
him and Brent Reeves and Fielder were all together. That was a good podcast. And then who else? Oh, I'd like to get Jason Doobie on here to
Yeah.
ask him just what his plans are with Full Cry. He can kind of
Yep.
let everybody know because
Instead of-
he took over Full Cry and he's going to be doing whatever they're going to do, making it digital or whatever, or
Instead of all of us just guessing.
yeah, making things up.
Yeah. Just gossip it out there.
Yeah,
I will say he went on Jason and his wife Danny. They went on Ben Sheets' podcast.
Yeah.
Tree Talking Time, and they did a pretty
I
good,
heard that.
you know, kind of
Mhm.
overview of what they're doing.
Yeah.
I
You know,
didn't.
it's a good one to check out.
I
Yeah,
have
but
a hard
wasn't on
time
ours.
listening to other
Wasn't on
podcasts.
ours.
We don't acknowledge any other podcasts now that we got our own. We're like that.
We told everybody because you're late, George. You were giving out free merchandise.
Oh yeah, I heard. Well, you have a bunch of merch, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I haven't come up with a good way to sell it yet, honestly.
Do you have any with you?
Yeah,
Yeah, is that your
somewhere.
hat?
Yeah,
Oh,
but yes, like I have some more of these hats,
there, that's neat.
and then obviously these shirts.
So he's promoting it in a sneaky way there.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think if you just got
Anticipation.
a picture of Easton holding Scruffy or leading Scruffy, that'd probably be your bestseller.
I had a guy just today. He was asking if I had a hat with a paw print of Scruffy on it.
How about you, Chris? Where's your merch?
I had a girl who said she was gonna do it, and she keeps saying she's gonna do it, and I just have to find someone else. Or I'd be promoting her right now.
It's real easy to get. That's what I did, and I just give them away. These little stickers.
Yeah, I built a print place, real big one, and just have to. The guy
Chris,
said he would do it. He's the one that made the cup for me already.
Chris
I
has
have to set
done
up an
everything in
account.
the world. I don't know. With making 9 kids, I don't know how you had time to do anything else.
Because I make them and then I leave and go to work.
You have to
If I
pay
was home
for
all the
them.
time, they wouldn't want to make babies with me.
Oh, me.
Yeah. So
I got to change my temperature here.
I need to start some merch that way I can support all my kids. You know, I don't feed them much. If anybody
You
wants
start
to send me some
making
money.
more money. You probably go out and start trying to make more kids.
That's what. Yeah, no, I can't do that no more. I'm good.
Did you get yourself fixed?
Yes, I did.
The
They neutered me
emasculator?
up. Yep. I saved
A Berdeenzer?
$750.
That's what it is, a Berdeenzer?
Yeah. I just put a rubber band and waiting on it to fall.
Oh, I don't like
That's
that.
gross.
I know. That
You
makes
like
me
what-
hurt. That gives me a stomach ache.
You know, we used to, when we castrated those pigs, you cut them and you rip them out.
Yep.
And it just gives you a belly ache right when you're doing it. Horrible.
When I was a kid in high school, they used to, there was several hog farms around the valley there. And in our ag class, that's what we had to do. They would bring in trailer loads, and we'd have to castrate.
I just got in trouble.
For
I just got a text that said, Michael, could you call this what?
Is that your
Make
wife?
them and then leave. Yeah, make them and then leave to work, huh? Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I shouldn't have sent her the link.
You're screwed, bro.
Hey, you know, I got the most beautiful wife in the world, though. It does.
Now
takes
he
care of my
knows she's
dogs.
listening.
Yep.
I know. I was trying to tell some lies earlier and found out my little sister was on here. She corrected me.
Chris is making bear soap. That soap is actually coming out. I made so. Here in the next 2-3 weeks, I'll probably start sending it out.
I used all that you sent me. That was good stuff.
Yeah, I got to get some more of that cedar leather. That's the stuff smells good. This stuff I made is lavender. So, but my whole bathroom smells like great. So,
How about Charlie? Charlie, you're sitting over there quiet in the corner,
Yep, just listening.
not saying anything with that
you know,
raccoon spoon looking over your shoulder. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Green screen you got there.
I know everybody has cool green screens. And my
Gotta
mom's
get with the
crafting.
times. Gotta get with the times.
Come on, Chris.
Well, Nicholas told me how to kind of do it, or camera wise, and I'm just on my GoPro. So
I turned mine around. I got a green screen. If you remember back a long time ago,
Yeah.
I had a green screen behind
Jeremiah
me.
Johnson playing in the back.
Yeah, and I could play a video back there in a loop. I thought it was pretty cool. But then I like the way, if you've seen my office, I like the way this sits. And then I got my movie posters in the back that look a little bit better.
No, the room I'm in's a disaster, so you get to see a picture of a raccoon.
Looks good. Looks good.
At least your walls are done.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Look at mine.
You
Hey,
must have
better
a
than your
fireplace
truck.
in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There it is. Ooh, that's a nice hearth. Is that a Hearthworth?
Yeah, I think it is.
I have had one for 30 years. It's been in 4 houses. Took it with me. I still have it. I redid all the inside of it. Those are great stoves.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
Brett, smarter than I look.
Chris, you just always amaze me. You just you can bring up any subject. And
Well,
here,
those look
Chris,
like Hearthworths,
I used to
man.
have one of those, or I did
still have
this, or
one. I'll send you
I
pictures.
used to work. I was a
My wife
whatever.
will probably send me a picture of it right now. I brought it up. Oh yeah.
So, Nicholas, when do you start hunting bobcats?
We can start pursuing them September 1st.
Oh, cool. So it's close.
Yep.
What do
very
you
close.
do? Are you roading your dogs to get them in shape now? And
I need to. Yeah.
you didn't
That's a
answer
no.
that fast enough.
That's a no. He's been
That's a
busy. He's
definite
been
no.
busy.
No, I said I need to. I know.
I
No, I
know.
haven't been, man. It's
Well, it was the
Charlie's
The
is
question-
too hot.
All the woods here are shut down. You can't even go access anywhere right now. And they won't even-
there.
Well, yeah, fire danger really.
We just
puts
have
a
stage
damper
1.
on all our fun.
Yeah.
Man, I'm
We're just-
dark.
we can't even smoke or shoot in the woods.
No, we can't. You can't even drive through the woods right now. A lot of
Yeah,
it.
we're not locked in like that.
I could go. You can go walk into places, but I don't know. That involves a little too much exercise.
I ended up getting a free treadmill off of Facebook for my dogs. Trying
Really?
to get them back in a little bit of shape. Yeah.
How about you,
just
George?
chain it to the front.
When can you start hunting bears?
I started August 1st, so
Oh, you
I've
started.
been hunting pretty regular.
How many have you caught
He's
so
not
far?
fishing no more.
Hey, we got a thumbs down. Look at that, guys.
What? Who did that?
Who did?
Where?
Somebody look them up. Nicholas, trace them.
All right.
Get on your
Their
get on
IP
your
address.
trace them. We want to know who gave
Yeah.
us a
Their
thumbs
IP
down.
I'll get it. Once you find him, I'll get
We're
his
gonna
phone
wreck
number
'em.
and we'll call him.
We'll locate them. We don't put up with that crap around here.
They will
where'd you
never
see that?
recover from this financially.
Always hurts my feelings when I get a thumbs down.
You see, where's that at?
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
You couldn't see it? It's right up there at the top. Can you see the? Whoop! We got a thumbs
I
up.
see Missy's thumbs up.
Yeah,
If I
that's all
share
I-
my screen, can you guys? Let's see if you guys can see it. Can you
Yeah.
see the comments right there?
It's too small. Thumbs. Oh, no thumbs down. Oh, I could probably go on.
See it? There's in the comments at the very
actual-
top.
This is unacceptable. You have to like everything we say.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just not right.
Communist.
I don't know. I
If
don't
you don't
see
like
a thumbs
it,
down
just
anywhere.
politely walk out the door.
Or get on here and let's debate. Let's talk about it.
All right, everybody.
Yeah, we'll put you on.
Let's fill up the
Anybody
comments
who
with
wants to
thumbs
give
up.
us a thumbs down, tell me, give me your number, and I will send you a link to join us so we can rough you
Probably
up
a
a little bit.
fisherman. It's probably
we
a
will
fisherman.
talk about anything.
I got
Deer
mad when we
hunter.
were talking crap
The
about
deer
fishing.
hunter.
Deer hunter, yeah. Oh, well. So we were talking to George when we were interrupted by that thumbs down. Hey, I think they removed it.
They hurt her. Maybe they did it on accident.
Yeah, that's what it was. They did
Who
it on
doesn't
accident.
like
Okay,
us?
George. Tell us. Yeah. How many bears have you caught so far?
Oh, not as many that have outrun me.
They're skinny and running hard.
Oh yeah, I'm getting outrun more than I'm catching, but I am catching a few. Yeah. So I ain't. I don't know the exact. It's not been many, but I don't know the exact. I caught one. Oh, let's see. I got outrun the last time I hunted. Time before that, I caught one, and then caught one the time before that. I think I've caught 3 this week.
Are you
on
in that,
in a
like,
season.
western-
When does your season end?
I can so between Virginia and West Virginia, I can hunt till pretty much February from here on.
And do you keep track? And if you do, how many bears do you typically tree in that amount of time?
I have never kept track so far. I don't know. I don't know. I really honestly don't know.
30, 40?
Oh, I mean, I don't want. I'm sure it's more than that, but
Is it?
Oh.
yeah, I would.
Chris,
So,
Probably,
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Chris, you're gonna have to
Don't hurt
you're
my
gonna have to
feelings.
shape up, buddy.
I'm all 15.
You're gonna
He
have
said-
to shape up.
Brett puts
This
me on
right
the
here is
spot.
how
many
you
go
know
catch this
George is
year?
the real deal.
Yeah.
well, there's a couple factors. Honestly, it's like, do you count the ones that us as a group? You know, whether it be my cousins start it and I just have a dog or
Oh.
a dog or two,
He
I,
has
or the one
friends and family.
I think the rule should be as long as you got, a dog or two on the ground
As long as
and
they make the tree.
and you're at the tree, that's you can claim it.
I would say this is a rough, but we probably tree the average of 100, little over 100
Wow.
a year. You know,
Hardcore.
Man.
That's good.
but well, it's honestly, I don't know if it's not really because we have really good dogs. I mean, they're okay dogs. They will catch bear, but it's just that I get to hunt more than the average person.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
what makes
so,
good
Yeah.
dogs. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Let's
what.
just rub it all in everybody's face. 100 bears
Yeah.
don't have to work.
How about bobcats? How many bobcats?
For
I'm
me,
putting you on the spot, Nicholas.
Oh,
Oh,
I was
I
going
mean,
to say
how
it
many
happened.
caught?
That guy up there in the right-hand corner.
This guy right here.
Like,
Yep, that
total.
guy
on-
I've only
that guy
caught,
right
like,
top of you.
3 bobcats myself. So
Okay,
yeah,
but you just started and you're learning,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what your book's
Well,
about and everything.
I
That's
got
really
2
cool idea.
seasons. I got 2 seasons of chasing cats under my belt. I treed 2 the first year, and I only really treed 1 this year or this last season.
But
Um,
okay,
But I got a really good mentor who lets me jump in on his races all the time. So,
So-
I've gotten my dogs on a lot more cats than that. But
how many a successful, like your mentor, a successful bobcat hunter in your area, how many bobcats will they catch in a season?
so my mentor's goal is always 100.
That's like Cody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
Here.
I think he hit 100 this last year.
I got that old man
But-
thing going on. I gotta go.
Oh, okay. But
how long did it
but
take
yeah, I
you?
mean he's hunting like 5-6 days a week, all day long. Catches 2 or 3
How
a
lo-
day.
How long did it take you to catch your first one by yourself? Oh, you're muted. Can you guys hear him?
Oh shoot!
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Now,
Oh,
sorry,
there-
I bumped the
there you
mute
go.
button.
Oh,
That's what my whole book is really about, is the journey of starting the season, and from the basically the book starts at the beginning of the season, and then it kind of ends when I catch that first cat. And It took me. I caught the first cat in January, and the season starts in September. So,
Yeah. Like when you
and
first
I
started
probably
with
went out
your dog
50, 60 days before I caught the first one.
by yourself.
Yes, but with my own dogs. Yep.
Since when you got dogs?
Oh no! Since when I started just focusing
Yeah.
on bobcats.
Oh, gotcha. Because you
Yeah,
you
like,
hear a
I
lot
mean-
of guys that don't catch something for 2-3 years. Lion-wise,
Right.
lion and cat.
Right.
You know.
It's tough, man. Yeah, I mean, I got really I just got lucky with raccoons, and like my dog Cooley, she caught her first raccoon on her own when she was like 8 months old, 8 or 9 months old. And yeah, I mean, we have where I go, we just have a ton of raccoons, so yeah, I racked up a lot of, some pretty high numbers with those. But when I switched over to bobcats, man, it got pretty desperate at times, because it's just, you go out 20 days in a row, especially when, like, I only have the weekends to really hunt. So, I'm hunting Saturday and Sunday. You put in, 20, 30 days like that where you don't really get anything going. Like, man, it really took it was more mentally challenging than anything to just keep going,
Yeah.
But then, and it was really like my mentor, he always says that it's 99% on the hunter and only 1% on the dogs, because as the hunter, you're running the whole show, so you got to know where to go,
Sorry about that.
how to read your dogs, when to, you got to know when you're wasting time on a track and when you just need to keep moving, versus, like, you got to know where those cats are crossing the road all the time. For me, that was a huge hurdle for me, was because I had this Finnish cat dog, Whiskey, who was, who I was hunting with, and I was relying on her as like my rig dog to strike tracks and everything. And for me, I just didn't understand, like, when she was really excited about a track. So I wasted tons of time, just like, she'd hit like 5 strikes over the course of a mile, and she gets down, sniffs a couple bushes, and then back up on the truck. And once I realized there was a turning point for me when I hit a really hot track and she completely blew up, and like it was just, balls to the wall, like an amazing race, like right out of the gates. Once I was like, oh, that's what it sounds like, then I stopped. Then I got to the point where I was just wasting less time and, getting them on a good track. But
Yeah.
How many dogs do you guys hunt with up there? How many do you put on the ground at a time?
like my mentor, like he'll run like up to 10 or 12 dogs at a time, but he splits his pack up into little groups. So, he's got
So
a
when
group A where he's running 3 or 4 dogs at a time.
he gets
and
when you're driving down through there and you get a good rig, do you put 3 dogs
dump them
down?
all.
5, 8? I mean, is there like down in South Texas, they put lots of dogs down.
Yeah. Once it's rolling, once you really know you got something good going, like, you just dump them all out. But for me, what I've been doing is just letting my most experienced dog kind of have first dibs on it, and to where he really gets it rolling, and then I'll add in my younger dogs, because I've found probably one of the biggest things holding me back was I was just putting too many of my young dogs down with my more experienced dogs, and they were just kind of mucking everything up and just being distracting. So yeah, I've had better luck starting with 1 or 2, and once they really get it rolling, then I'll feed in the young idiots.
Right.
Do you video much?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You need
filmed
to
all my
send
hunts
us
all the
last year.
time.
You need to send us some clips. Well, I mean,
I
besides your main videos that
Oh,
you put up, I mean, do you have like clips you could send?
yeah,
That'd be cool
yeah,
to see.
definitely. Yeah.
You know, if we could,
Yep.
some of the nuts and bolts of how guys do things,
Sure.
that would be interesting. Because I got to,
Definitely. Yeah, I can put something like that together.
yeah, like, like, just little short, you know, clips
Mm-hmm.
that you would like to share or something. I think it might be interesting to, if we could
Sure.
all to do that. Okay, Charlie, we're going to put you on the
That'd be
hot seat now.
Okay.
And then before anybody asks me, we're going to be done because I don't want to be embarrassed. But how about raccoons? Do you catch quite a few raccoons?
Yeah. You know, I don't know how many trees I've been to last season. Probably 30 or 40 trees.
Really?
You know, but as far as I don't know if you count how many raccoons are in each tree. You know, a lot of times you get 3 or 4, or
You know, it's one
yeah,
raccoon
true.
per tree.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
rules.
one raccoon. No, I've got some good spots to go. You know, Nicholas has been with me to a bunch of them.
So you got a really good raccoon population.
It's decent. I wouldn't say it's great, but I mean it's decent for sure. I mean,
Do they have those competition hunts where you're at?
there's one club that has one a year, and I went last year just to help support the club, and we had my dog and one other dog. That was all that showed up, and I don't even think they're going to do it this year.
So it's not like it is back east.
Oh no, not at all. It's not.
Was it
It's not big at all.
that guy? What was that guy's name on your podcast yesterday, Nick?
Oh yeah, Josh Michaelis
What he
Oh,
was
cool.
talking. What he's the one talking
from
that.
Joy Dog Food.
Well, we take him to this one spot that's kind of bad. Only has like 3,000 coons. And then we take him to this other
Man.
spot that's 10,000 coons. That if we really want a raccoon, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was talking
where's that at?
about he has to go.
He's back
Well,
east
first of all, he
somewhere.
was saying in a lot of his spots, like his close to home spots, he has to just kill every raccoon they tree just to thin out the population. And still, that's not enough. He has to work really hard to find a patch of woods with a thinner coon population, so his dogs have to work harder.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a good talk with him because I realized, like, I actually, starting my young dogs in these areas that are just loaded with raccoons, like I feel like that really kind of held my dogs back because they're, they get out in the woods within 10 minutes, they're striking a track. Within 15 minutes, they got it treed. And like, that is not how bobcat hunting works. So,
Right.
it just kind of, I feel like they've just developed some bad habits from hunting in such thick populations of game.
So, George, is the
Back to Charlie.
raccoon hunting big where you're at?
Yeah. The competition side of it isn't quite as big as just the normal recreational. Take the dogs out. But yeah, there is. I think when I was younger, it was probably more than it is now. But we got a decent raccoon population. I don't know if it would be near as high as what they got like in the Midwest.
Were
But
your
it's
bear
it's
dogs?
okay.
Were your bear dogs tree a raccoon?
Yeah, no, I discourage them from it. But yes, usually every year I'll catch a couple. And I consider it. I honestly I don't put it in the trash category, but I don't
it
encourage
climbs.
it, and I don't.
Yeah.
The
So-
raccoons can live way out in the middle of the forest too.
Oh
We
yeah.
treat them way out in the middle of nowhere in the forest.
Oh yeah.
I've been at a raccoon den in a tree, and my dogs were treeing on it. And it was me and Elizabeth bowling, and I had marked that tree. And every once in a while, you'd find that raccoon walk down the road for a mile, walking down the
Right.
road.
Yep.
Crazy. Middle of there's no couple little water holes, nothing fresh running. Crazy.
That's
there was
something.
Yeah,
there was a property
we
we
run
hunted.
into the same thing.
Yeah, there was a property we hunted for the first time. It's a hazelnut orchard, just a little small one. First time we went in there, it's only 30 acres, I think, is what it was, or what it is. we probably saw 60 raccoons probably in different trees because they were just so thick in there and nobody had ever hunted them. And like Nicholas was saying, like our dogs couldn't even figure out what to do. There was so much scent they couldn't. They're just running around barking. Like we thought they were just being stupid, but there were so many of them that
Hard to
Yeah,
get
it's
it
just like
logged
it
out.
just
They couldn't
short
figure
circuits
it
their
out.
brain. They just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was insane.
Yeah, no, we have nothing like that here. I mean, it's especially in our mountainous terrain. I mean, if you get lucky enough to get 2-3 raccoons a night, we consider ourselves doing good.
My friend in Oklahoma sends me pictures of their corn feeder that has 15 or 20 of them
Oh
hanging
yeah.
off it.
Good gracious.
I'm like, send me some. Just let me come pick some up and drop them in my creek.
We have quite a few in the pecan fields here. I mean,
Oh, I bet.
and we used to go at night and run them and stuff, you know. And biggest problem was we had a lot of those drainage ditches too, and then you catch them down in the drainage ditches, and then you have to get down there and the rattlesnake. I just remember being down in there and that thick, what do you call it, cattail and everything, and you hear a rattlesnake rattling, and it's dark.
Look like a cat. Look like one of them cats on YouTube. They put the cucumber on and then they fly off.
You see a fat boy come right out of that ditch. I tell you what.
Mm-hmm. My favorite place was the.
Where'd Midnight Blue go to?
I'm working on it.
My favorite place was the golf course behind the country club. They had a little pond back there, and we'd go back there, and you'd light that up, and there'd be 4 of them out, 5 of them running around that pond. So I take all my pups there just to get them on game. Raccoons are real good for game, for getting your pups to chase, and whether you're chasing lion or bear or whatever, still good as pups to get them into that little bit of a fight and treeing. And
I'll tell you, I've seen some pretty wicked fights on a raccoon. Man, those things are mean.
They're tough, aren't they?
Yeah,
I was going to say, I take Scruff out every once in a while. A lot of times just possums, raccoons, whatever he wants to catch. But he'll catch, because he's silent on track, he'll catch as many on the ground as he will up a tree.
Oh, yeah.
I bet he loves that too, doesn't he?
Oh, he loves every minute of it. And the bad thing is, it's almost embarrassing, but he can handle them better than some of my full-grown hounds can.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's like a little wiry guy. I'd rather fight a 300-pound guy than a 120-pound guy, because they're just wiry. They'll run around you and punch you before you know what's going on. Those little dogs, they're like that.
They're bred for it too. I mean, that's something. Oh well. What else? What else we got on the agenda? Anything?
We talked about all the mountain.
How about your videos, George? You got any good videos coming up?
Let's see. I've been putting out one a week, other than this week. I didn't get one out this Sunday or Monday, just because I've been hunting so much. So my next one will be, I ain't sure if I'm gonna, I reckon I'm gonna just keep them in order, because I'm still working on last year's videos, getting them out. But I already got fresh content, that I'm just stacking up on. So I think I'm gonna just stay in last year's till I finish it up, and then we'll start into this year.
Get you a nice little archive built up.
He asked about the rattlesnake vaccine. I used it, first set of dogs I bought a long time ago, and then I probably should get my older dogs like Booger and P, and maybe even those terrorists. They're getting a little age on them. I probably should get them the vaccine, just in case, because they're, after hearing how much some of those dogs sold for at that auction, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, Booger's worth a lot of money. Should get him the vaccine at least. But
that fella that he interviewed yesterday, I think he gives his dogs that vaccine.
Josh?
Yeah, I think he was talking about how he gave them the vaccine.
I haven't listened to Nicholas's yet, but Josh was one of my favorite podcasts on that Houndsman XP deal. I really like, and I don't hunt raccoons, but I like to listen to how they talked about the competitions and stuff. That sounded interesting to me. There he is. You're blurry.
Oh, I'll clear up here shortly, I'm sure.
Good old
Sorry, I
internet.
got that old man thing going on.
Man, I'll
That's
tell you
where I
what, that old man
disappeared.
thing says, used to, you could wait. Now it says now. I'm out of here. Cool. What else?
What about, oh, you can't do, you don't got nothing coming out really. You can't do nothing, can you, Brett? You're just kind
Me?
of, yeah, as far as,
Well, I've been putting up these dailies on this channel, and I got one that I just published. That's number 3 of the dailies, and then I got one that I've uploaded and scheduled. It's where they're hunting jaguars out of a boat. They're down in Nayarit, Mexico, I guess, and they're hunting. I think that's where they're at. But they got the dogs in like a big boat, and they tree some jaguars. It's a real old film that I digitized, and so I'm just kind of working with this channel, and I think I'll try to do some stuff with my old videos using this program where I can kind of narrate or something, maybe go live on that or something, because I I can't go anywhere yet. So me and my wife had a little argument about that yesterday.
you tried to sneak out, didn't you?
I told her, I said, I'm going. I said, this is great. I get, every now and then I get a little
Feisty?
antsy. I said, man, this is crazy. I gotta go. I'm gonna load up some mules and go to the mountains.
I feel like you feel better out there than you do sitting in an office.
I know. And then, and then she said, the doctor told you not to get too far out. And I said, what's too far out? How do we, is that out of phone service, or there's res hounds. I said, well, how do you determine what's far out? And she said, I think close to town. I said, all right. I said, well, what happens if I still had my business and I had a job that was out of town?
Yuma or
wherever, would I have to tell my customers, no, sorry, doctor said I can't go out of town? I said,
how close is close to town?
Yeah.
That's the other, how close is close?
I carry that in-reach messenger. I can push that button and they'll send a helicopter out of me, supposedly. So, I don't know. Won't they? Will they send a helicopter for me, Nicholas? I seen you laugh. Oh, I was going to say. Or will they just say, he's way out there. It would take us a week to get there. So
that's Brett. His wife, let's let him sit there a little bit so he's in real big trouble with his wife.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of frustrating, really. But, oh well. Just do what you got to do. So, because I had all these big plans, man. Going places. Had plenty of time to do it, too.
Well, this is a totally different point, but I was just thinking about it. I had me and one of my good friends was hunting, and it was the other evening, and we put on. I'm just curious if y'all have any explanation of this. So we found a bear track and some blackberries. Dogs left out of there trailing. Went half a mile, and sat down and just halfway treed. They never run; they just halfway treed. And old experienced dogs, no pit. And then all the dogs quit. They quit treeing, started just coming back on their track. Two other dogs that had went a totally different way, went into that tree. They kind of started halfway treeing. Then they left there and went on, made a lap around a knob, maybe a half mile lap. And running. Then they started running. I mean, really picking her up and putting her down. Round the knob they went, just to getting her, flying, come back, hit that tree, that same tree, made a big old lap, circle back in like 20 minutes later, hit that tree where they'd been earlier, and just locked down tight hard. Walked in there and they had a bear.
So
I don't.
Sounds like
I
a
don't know.
feeding frenzy. Like when I have those bears on, because we have oaks, so it's all acorns for you guys that say
Right.
it wrong.
Right.
They'll go to each tree and they'll go up and down those trees and just kind of do their little figures. And I've had dogs hit those trees and do the same thing, kind of just half-ass tree on them, and you're like,
Right.
walk in 400 yards and they're still trying to work, but they're just kind of like, he's here, like we know he's here. So I think maybe he spent a lot of time in that area where the scent's really like there, and then he just
Right.
kind of wandered off. But mine did the same thing on an oak tree, and then they kind of walked. I had a couple dogs take off. I picked these dogs up, went up and cut them off, and they were working it too. Dropped them off, and we caught a bear like a mile and a half away because it was just feeding.
This one was so peculiar though, because when they started running, they come back. I mean, made a big old lap around like a big old knob on the side of the mountain, and then come back and lock down on that identical tree, the exact same tree.
Will a bear do like a bobcat or raccoon will? Like we call it, tap a tree. Will they run up there and jump up on the tree, jump off, and keep running?
Oh
Like
yeah, that could definitely happen. But what's weird is just the first two experienced dogs. Like, if he would have did that, I would have thought. I mean, I don't know what happened, but they should have never even slowed down at that first tree.
Yeah.
You would have thought they'd have rolled on, but they just trailed. They kind of just piddly trailed in there, halfway treed there a little bit, meandered around a little bit, and then actually come back to us. And the other two dogs, they went in, and this was a few minutes later. They kind of went in there and went on through. Well, I say they locked down on the tree just for a few minutes, and then they left the tree. And then when they left there, just kind of piddly trailing, and then just rolled on. Then like they jumped, went around the side of the mountain, and come all the way back in there and treed on that same tree and had a bear that time.
That's crazy.
How big was the bear? Little one or is it like an older one?
A nice bear, yeah. Way up in the top of the big white pine.
I just wonder if it kept coming back to that tree and just hanging out there, back and maybe he was just chilling there for the last couple of days, and I don't know.
And maybe that was a safe spot or something, or places for, I don't know.
Maybe
it was the first time I'd ever had that happen.
He ran over there. Man, if dogs could talk, they'd probably make us feel real stupid.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
What kind of pup did you get, George?
They are some. I haven't even looked at the papers. I'm not really a paper guy, but they're
another guy. Yeah, they're registered dogs.
Oh.
There's some English dogs that I think the guy was telling me they go back to like some hard time stuff. So, but he's talking. I don't know all the breeding and bloodlines.
Yeah. Are they older or the young?
They are, well, Easton. Bring it on in a second.
Oh, here's Easton. Maybe we put Easton.
Oh, there we go.
There's
Easton.
Oh.
Yeah. So 10 weeks old, I think.
Holy moly.
Good looking ugly pup. So like what, 9 weeks, 10 weeks?
I think he considered them 10 weeks when I picked them up. So.
Awesome. What'd you name him?
That one there is a female, and then my cousin's getting a little male, and we ain't settled on a name yet. Potentially Buttercup and Red Rooster, but who knows? It might not be that.
Hey Brett, can you pull up that picture of that pup? Did you see that Carl gave that pup to that kid that you?
I can do a screen share from Facebook.
Yeah. Brett gave a pup away on a giveaway, and the kid got it yesterday.
Oh yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that.
he was tickled. By King.
Oh, Carl Boykin. Doug Boykin is his name.
That's a neat thing he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid, man, I tell you what, that made me feel good when I seen the kid's reaction to that puppy.
Yep. Yeah, he does what is it called? The Great American Hound Pup Giveaway. And he makes them write an essay, which is pretty cool, you know.
Okay, guys, give me.
There it is. Zoom it. Can you?
You're a cute little girl.
Is that a blue tick?
You gonna keep in touch? Send me pictures. As she's growing up, huh? We'll go hunting this winter.
Yeah, in color. In color, yep. But it's not. It's just the. Oh shoot, we lost Chris. It's they're all colored. They're an eighth running walker out of Cody's stuff, and I mean, bred back and forth between my old dogs, and they got some Larry Hendricks dry ground dog in them. They got all that stuff. I mean, bred back and forth between P and Al and all of them. So it's kind of something I've been. I don't know. Did you guys watch the live last night at all that I had?
No, I haven't caught up on any of it, of really anybody's.
I'll show you.
So much good content these days.
Well, it's hard, I know. I'll show you. See if I can share it. Dang it. I had to put it right there. I think I showed this once before. I hate that. Now, I'll just fast forward. Now, that's Rusty. Can you see my mouse? Rusty's on this end. These are all my male dogs, and they're all half brothers, and the terrorists are in there. There's 3 of them. They're full brothers, and then I got Clara and Booger. Booger's the daddy, and Clara is out of a Booger. Mike Bency brought a female, or I sent Booger to Mike Bency to breed a female, and I got Clara. She was out of that cross. That was my stud fee was a pup out of that. So that was. That's Clara right there. And that's Uno. It was hot already.
Was this recently?
It's about 2.5, 3 months ago. 3 months ago, something like that. So, and one of the things I tried, this is the next day on that. So I figured I was on a 20-hour-old track, and I kind of went through this yesterday. When you're hunting out here in this desert, you gotta have a dog that really wants to cold trail. I mean, and I'll show you. And P, and I'll tell you the story. P, she worked that track, and then when it got hot, and the other dogs went on and caught the lion, I was petting those other dogs up, telling them good dogs, and P showed up about 15 minutes later trailing. Now, a lot of those dogs, or a lot of people, would say that she's just a track straddler. And really she is, but she serves her purpose. And you can see that right here. That's P right there. Now watch how she keeps all the other dogs interested. Because that's a 20-hour-old track. And she's moving it, but she's just straddling it. Now Booger and Al went up there and found it. But she kept them all together. So this, at the very least, is a 20-hour-old track. That's not too bad.
That's amazing.
Well, we're running out of time. It's going to get hot here in a little while. So they're still working it. I think you guys have all seen this before. But she's still keeping everybody together on that track. Now this is, I figured this was the overnight track. So this was probably about overnight. So it's a good track. But P's not out there in front. Al and Jack and Rusty and all them are out there in front. So they go on over there and catch that lion again on the bluff. So there you go. I don't even know. How do we get into that? What was I talking about? Dogs or something? Cold-nosed dogs or something like that? Or, how the dogs were bred. So,
yes.
In my mind, now Cody's, and you can hear anything you want about running walkers. A lot of guys say they won't work in this country because they don't have a good enough nose. Other people say they're not going to work because they don't tree. But I've watched Cody's dogs. I mean, they got plenty of nose, and I wanted to see if we could breed some of that into them without getting too. Now, I don't think they're going to have near the nose that P has, but getting it down to an eighth running dog, maybe that'll be enough to maybe speed things up a little bit. I don't know. It's just kind of a I still got a bunch of those pups. If you guys know anybody who wants any, I need to get rid of some.
I have a guy who called me, and I didn't really want to sell these 3 pups, but he's pulling on my sentimental side because his kid has Down syndrome, and he's looking kind of for a pup for his kid. I told him $500. I didn't want to really sell him, and he's like, supposed to meet me out to hound trials, but I don't know if I want to get rid of any of my pups yet. I got those 3 that I'm working. So.
I don't know. I sell them, but I mean, somebody like that, I'd make a really good deal.
I know. Yeah, I know.
That's the way I am. It's just like last night when I was giving these water bottles away. I said the 4th, yes, I get in the comments, I'm going to give the water bottle away. And
I was third.
I know, but you get one anyway. So I gave 6 away. I gave to the first 6 yeses.
Today I said, I thought you said the 4th. He goes, I know, but I just Missy got one, didn't she? Oh no, that was the other.
She paid me $15 for one. I think they cost me $20. I don't. And then I'm going to send her some other stuff too. So she was so polite and nice.
That's who you should get. You should get Missy on here.
That'd be good.
Missy's a riot.
Hey, I already asked her if she wants to come on a live stream, so we're gonna make it happen.
Oh, cool.
My beagle.
Yeah, I'm gonna have her come up to my house and she'll have Taylor's spot.
Nice.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
My beagle I have is a litter mate to one of hers. She's who I go rabbit hunting with all the time.
She's the best.
Yeah,
cool.
She's pretty cool.
Easton.
Look at that. Have you been catching some bears?
What's up, dude?
You been riding any mules?
No, Not really.
No. Are you going
We're
to?
breaking a little quarter horse right now.
Oh,
Very cool.
why don't
Are
you
you
push
gonna-
your dad out of the way so we can have
Is-
an intelligent
Is
conversation?
is your daddy gonna get bucked off?
I don't know, probably.
Keep that camera rolling. Keep that camera rolling.
Tell him to get him what we call a night latch. Get you a night latch on there, and when he gets on there, hold on tight. Don't let that. Don't let him get marbles in his hind end and roll off.
Don't think that'll happen.
Good.
It's fun. This little quarter horse, I've been working on these mules, working on mules. This little quarter horse is a breeze compared to the mules.
Oh yeah, I know.
There's a guy we know that has. Well, you all know Carl. Carl's trying to get rid of a mule. A couple of them.
Yeah.
He only wants $5,000 for him. Supposed to be broke. 13,
Look at here.
17, I believe.
We got a bear hunter. Fall bear season opened on Saturday. How many bears are you going to catch this year?
That's on the Navajo res.
On the res.
It's strange to me when you guys open your seasons on Saturday. Ours always open on a Friday. Always.
I think Calvin catches a lot of bears.
Ours opens on the first, whatever day that is.
And the only thing that happens for us is dove season is on the first.
I don't even know when bear season starts here now. It used to start, I think, like the second week in August, and then, matter of fact, I was at that game commission, and they, everybody complained about it starting so early because it's too hot. And then I think what they did is they took a week off of in August, or maybe 2, and then they added it to the end of the season, I think. We lost Chris again.
What? I'm here, ain't I?
No, if you're there, you sure look funny. You got a little dark on us.
Here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh,
that's
geez.
good
There it
enough.
comes.
That's all I need.
All right, bear soap is on
looking
the
at,
market,
Easton?
everybody.
Children in the house.
Give Chris a call to get your very own bar of bear soap.
Even
There's
Easton's
Chris.
It's
That's
not family friendly anymore.
No, that is not.
Sorry. I think it's funny. As many as I can walk to. Hey, you got a mules now. You're supposed to be riding.
Oh, well. Go to my laptop.
Oh, there he
Did
is.
your GoPro give out on you?
I don't know. It says it's on. I think it's
Mine
getting
was doing
hot.
that too.
I think it's just getting hot. I've had it on for hours plugged in. So
They say that new DJI Osmo
Action
4. They say that's the best action camera now. What do you say, Nicholas?
Really?
That's what they say.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
haven't
expect
looked
some
into it.
expertise advice from you.
Oh, I seen that. I watched that
No,
on
man.
YouTube.
I just figured out I get 50% off at GoPro, so I'm gonna get one of those.
Oh,
What?
yeah. How do you get that off at GoPro?
Because he works at
I'm just
Gorham.
well connected, my guys.
Oh,
Yeah, just
It's not
Just
what
gotta
you know,
talk
it's
to
who
the right
you know, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, he
No,
does
I have
always
the-
look funny.
I have that. I would not be surprised if the DJI is really good. I have that. I got this one. The yeah, this is what I make. This is what I've made all my YouTube videos on.
Do you like
The
it?
little the gimbal camera.
Yeah.
The DJI Pocket. I freaking love this thing, man. I mean, it just makes everything so smooth and it's just so easy to use that yeah.
How do you
one
get audio?
downside it has really good audio. It has 4 microphones like surrounding it, so you get it's nice because it picks up my voice really good, and then it'll pick up the dogs, like when they're when they're way out there, it still picks them up really good. The one thing that sucks about it is it's not waterproof at all. So
Oh,
Yeah, around here that's a problem.
Yeah.
it's not much of a
Exactly.
problem in southern New Mexico.
Nor Arizona.
Right. Oh, so Calvin has the DJI too. That's cool.
Got to get him on here. Calvin, you need to let us know when you can come join us. I'll have to now. I can with this computer I have here. I can only take in 5 guests, but if I bring my laptop from the house, it has the M1 chip in it, and they say with the M1 chip, I can have as many as 10 people in here. That would be a mess,
Nice.
but at least I could add another person. So we'll get you scheduled. Maybe next Monday night. Calvin, are you going to be around?
I think they're the same time as you up on the Navajo Res. I think they're the same time as New Mexico.
I don't know. We're Mountain Time.
Well, so
That's
am
all
I,
I
but you're
know.
still an hour ahead of us.
That's
Arizona's
because
Arizona don't need to change. We know how to just handle our business.
you guys are too close to California.
That's what it is. They're an hour earlier too.
See, you got to be weird.
Arizona just stays the same.
I know it was always confusing. I've done a lot of work in Arizona, in Tucson, and then of course over in Yuma. I always get confused about the time changes.
Well, when you're hunting them down on the border, like the Blue or Alpine or any of that area, it will jump those towers. So you look at your phone for time, and it says an hour earlier or whatever. They'll jump those towers.
Calvin, I'll send you a link. All you got to do is have a, whoops.
What time are you there, Calvin? What time is it now? It's 6:20 in Arizona.
7:20 here in New Mexico.
I think they're the same time. Because when I used to repo on the reservation, I'd go up there and my phone would jump.
There's something else. Every time Chris has done something else.
I used to tow. I like to do it all.
It's just.
It's a repo.
I could say with 9 kids, you had to do a lot.
I had to do a lot.
Used to be a seamstress.
So they're the same time as you.
I don't think it takes 10 hunters to 7:21. Russ says 7:21. Same time as me. I don't think it takes.
Only
10
takes
hunters.
1, but it ain't as fun as 10. I think we should try to get 10 on here.
The main thing is not talking over each other. That's the hardest part. But I feel like we do a decent job.
Don't we, Chris?
Heck yeah.
See, I got total control. I can turn everybody off.
I'm gonna have to learn sign language. I'm gonna learn sign language just to talk.
Oh, jeez.
Do you guys do much individual training with young hound on trailing where the most exposure with other hounds? I start them by themselves. I got those 3. Even though I got those 3 pups right now, I'll take them out individually when I start doing little drags just to watch them work their nose, how they work their nose. Once they hit about 4 to 6 months, I start dumping them with my big dogs.
That's on bears.
Bears, lions, I just take them out with me, let them chase jackrabbits, and try to trash break them a little bit. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's the easiest way. If you're just starting off fresh, I've always said if you want to be a houndsman, then just get a puppy and train it. Don't drop it with no big dogs. Don't go buy a dog. You'll learn a lot about yourself if you start from 0, ground level.
Yeah.
Or you could cheat and go buy a finished dog.
Take you about 2 years to figure out whether you really like it or not.
That's what we were talking about when you left. Is a lot of these guys doing cats, they won't catch nothing for 2 years.
Oh yeah.
Because that's like minimum. There's guys I know that went 5 years trying to catch something because they didn't want to go in the snow either. You want to catch something going to snow.
Yeah.
You want to hunt something going to desert. That snow's good for your puppies and training and getting them just to see some game. And, or if you're a guide and you need that quick money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I caught one right away, but then I didn't catch another lion for 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it was frustrating. And I had one dog that was pretty well broke and pretty decent dog, but I guess I just screwed her up. I don't know.
I've always said it was all luck. You can have the best dog in the world. You go pay $20,000 for that dog. If you can't find a track, you're not going to catch nothing.
Finding the track. I mean, if you got decent dogs, finding that lion track, they're going to trail it most of the time, or at least.
And you know,
I won't keep a dog that won't trail. Let's put it that way.
We do big circles, but in the old days, they did big circles. Big circles.
15 to 20 miles a day in and day out.
And a lot of those guys were on foot. Look at Ed Van, or Trained by a Hound. That guy talks about walking out 9 miles and it got dark and he built a fire and slept out there, and you're like,
Mike Root. Mike Root still does stuff like that.
That guy needs to write a book.
I wish he would. I'd like to get him on here. I'd like to bring him right here to my office and get him on here. Because that guy is he's a riot. But
you know, that guy could make money just by saying, come camp with me on a weekend and just listen to me. And people would pay $500 just to go sit around a campfire. Bring him some donuts. He likes his donuts. And then
it's hilarious to sit at a camp with him. I mean, I've been fortunate enough. I mean, he brought those hunters from New York, and they just it was January and it was getting cold. I mean, way below freezing. They built a big old fire and just slept in the sleeping bags right there where I took them in there where I caught that lion, and then we caught that little lion, you know, caught a little Tom. But always funny though. He's hilarious.
That's one of my favorite. I've listened to the interview that you all did. I've listened to it over and over. I don't know how many times.
You can listen to that one over and over.
Yeah.
You can rewatch that over and over. I would love to just listen to that guy. I could just take a week and just let him tell stories.
He's the real
I bet you he has a week worth of stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't, if you get to ask him too many questions about how, like, Mike, how do you catch these lions? How do you do? What do you do? Oh, I don't know. It's just luck. I just put dogs down, and he's pretty humble, really.
Yep.
Tough too, double tough.
Oh yeah, you can just tell that guy's tough. He's the one that had the truck with no brakes and was dead broke. That's a story that probably a lot of your houndsmen can. I could attest to it this weekend because my daughter jumped in my 1980 Toyota. She goes, I'll just take the little Toyota. I said, all right. And I said, man, there's some reason why didn't I drive it? There's something wrong with it. I can't remember. I said, I just drove it the other day. And then she started it, and I don't have a muffler on it. It fell off. I said, oh, I think it's just a muffler. So we get going. We go down the road. We're on my dirt road before it gets a big road. And I look back, and she has her arms out the window. And I'm like, oh, crap, there's no brakes. I got to bleed the brakes. I forgot. We had to turn around and go home and bleed the brakes. I said, oh, I forgot. It don't have no brakes, does it? She goes, no. So, and she's already PTSD because she rolled her truck last year.
Kelvin said he trailed a lion today, and the dogs were about 300 yards behind. I was watching the cat stay out in front of the pack, and it got too hot, and I didn't want any more vet deals. With the lion just trotting out in front. What's that, Nick?
I want to ask him some details about how do you, what's it like pulling your dogs off a track like that? Because for me, if I could see the cat out in front of my dogs, I don't know if I'd be able to pull I don't know if I could pull them off of that, knowing that it's right there. And then also, can you just call your dogs off a track like that? We got to have them on. That's all I'm saying.
If they got good manners and they're wore out, I'm sure you could.
I can call mine off a track. I can call them out of a cave. I can call them off of a bluff, call them off a tree. Now, I cut a lot of that out of the video of the screaming and yelling and cussing. It's not as easy as I make it look. But
I told my kids when I die, just go through all of my videos and just watch what I cut out. Yeah.
I know. Speaking of that, with my hounds, sometimes I can call them. They look really good on video. But now, like the other evening, I treed a pretty easy bear, and the scent was just fresh, hot, the adrenaline high, and everything was wet, mist and rain, and they didn't go nowhere and treat it, and the bear wasn't setting real high. I didn't even attempt, because it would have been a disaster if I'd tried. As soon as I pulled the dogs back, he bailed out, and to get back to the truck, I had to cross his track like 3 times. So I actually kept him on a lead almost the whole time, which is untypical of me, but I knew I was fighting a losing battle.
yeah, it's
Toning's like my last resort. Usually, most of the time I can get them off. Young puppies, you just have to work them. But
Right. Oh, yeah.
I think my worst dog is that yucky dog, that red bone looking dog I got. He loves to try to kill the tree and the bear, but he'll come off. He just takes a little bit. I don't shock him. He just takes a little bit more convincing than
Right.
the other dogs. So, it depends on the race too. How long's the race? You
Yeah,
get in those real long
100%.
races. It's easy to get them off. So,
Yeah.
what else?
If it's a long race on a hot day, I can make my dogs look like angels. They can watch the bear come out and I can call them off of it, but it's because of the situation.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. This first week I go, I call it Western week because they're so riled up and I rode them 5 miles before I even go out and do anything. Let them crap everywhere.
That's a
and
good.
Get them, try to
Yeah.
burn them out just a hair. And that
That
yucky
really
dog,
helps my
he
dog.
has concrete feet. I've ran that dog just miles in the desert and he don't limp ever. Just tough feet. Love him. I hate red bones. He was an accident dog, but he's a good dog.
Why do you hate red bones?
Just never
he's
liked him.
racist.
The aggression. A lot of them are aggressive. I've never seen a red bone that had a little aggression, and he's a little aggressive, not uncontrollable. His mom was red bone and black and tan, which I don't like black and tans either. That's just like color choice to me. But I don't care as long as their nose works. I've had some ugly dogs. Red bones have always just been. First red bone I had, the guy gave to me, and I had some Jehovah Witness come in my yard, and I look out the window, and that old red bone grabbed that old lady's dress and spun her around, and she fell down. And I had no trespassing, beware dogs. Those they just come right in. But so they come knock on my door and they say, "Did your dog have your shots?" I said, "Well, why?" "Well, it bit her." I said, "No, I didn't bite her." I said, "But does she have her shots?" And that made them mad. And they called the dog guy on me, and I've known that guy for 30 years. So he came over and quarantined me for 14 days.
He quarantined you?
Well, my dog. Me too.
Yeah, because he didn't have his shots.
Yeah. Said I couldn't talk to Jehovah Witness no more. And they came back the next month. I'm like, geez, don't learn.
Well, you needed help.
Very, very persistent people.
Yes, they are.
Yep. Speaking of red bones, my buddy had a really good red bone from. Do y'all know? I don't really know him. I just know where the red bone come from. But I think he's Kyler. It's Wheeler Hounds, I think, is what he calls it. Out y'all's way somewhere. I think it's called Wheeler
Sounds
Hounds.
familiar.
But anyway, speaking of red bones, my buddy got one off him, and that was one of the best little hounds I'd ever seen. It's in a lot of my videos until last year. Like I said, there's a little bit of backstory, but it's not in the videos anymore. Bear got a little hateful.
I'm gonna put the cone of shame on Chris. Yeah,
Hey.
just every now and then when we just We just
Charlie
get
texted me and
Chris.
said he had to jump off.
That's
Where'd
why
Charlie
we get
go?
all the views. I don't know. His GoPro probably died.
Did he say something to you, Nicholas?
Yeah, he sent me a text. He said he had to go.
Oh.
Bye.
So we out. I got a good Redbone story. I actually, right when I first started hunting with my dogs, I went to one of the only night hunts that's around here in Oregon. And I found it online somehow. And yeah, I just drove down there by myself and met, a handful of guys who were standing around there, and Jason Doobie was one of those guys. And so I met him there. That was the first night I met him. And I actually met Charlie on that same night.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, I was just going to go, and I just wanted to go follow along on a hunt. And right at the last minute, a gentleman named D. Powell, he mostly has English dogs, but he actually had a Redbone at that point. Yeah, D. Powell. I think he's more active on like the big game Houndsman forum. Yeah. But yeah, right at the last second before the cast was going out, he asked me if I wanted to hunt a dog in the hunt. And so he gave me one of his Redbone. I can't remember what its name was, but it was a big beast of a dog. And yeah, I got to participate in my first night hunt that night with a big old Redbone.
How'd you do?
Oh, his name was Doc. So Doc, he actually treed something, but it was the tree was on a creek that was separated by about a 20-foot high berm of blackberry bushes. And so no one wanted to go down to the tree to see if he actually, had a coon. So
a spoon?
A spoon. Sorry.
A Ricky.
Damn, I'm never going to get that. So I actually tunneled my way through this crazy blackberry bush and got down to the creek, and I couldn't really see. I feel like he had the spoon. And then, yeah, so I pulled him back. The rest of the cast, they actually ditched me. And so I had to go catch up with them. But yeah, good times.
Cool.
That was my one and only Redbone exposure.
I've never been around them at all.
Yeah, I've had a few. I had a black and tan that was part Redbone. I got from a guy up north, and I guess it had some of the red fern stuff in her. So I've swapped dogs before, and then I actually gave that dog to my dad, and he had a big papered Redbone. He got off a lady. She got mad, and her husband had some papered walkers and a Redbone, and she gave them to my dad. So yeah, but he bred that dog, and I know one of the biologists has that line, and he says they do real good running lions. So.
Remember that? What's that gal? Big Horn Posse or something like it was her name.
Oh, Tessa
Fowler.
Fowler?
Tessa Fowler, yeah.
Yeah.
I gave her a shocking system, a Tritronics shocking system way back. Remember she was living in a tent or something.
Yeah, she 120 days or whatever it was.
Being poor and everything. I felt sorry for her, and she said, and I sent her that, and I never heard from her again. So I don't even know I don't think she's got any dogs anymore. I've heard of Fred Moran, the Redbone man. He's Stephen Fielder, I think, interviews him all the time, or not interviews him, but has him on the podcast. That's pretty neat to listen to. But
Fred Moran.
It was interesting when the podcast I did with Josh McCalis, he was saying that he feels like the walkers have kind of dominated the coon hunting world so much because apparently the Walker guys are more willing to go out and bring in new blood to their lines. And, you know, they're more willing to breed outside of their own programs just to go for the very best dog. Whereas he was saying that, you know, like a lot of red bone breeders or blue tick breeders or black and tan, like they're so strict about their breed requirements or their breeding standards that, you know, he felt like it kind of it can kind of hold you back,
Restricted them,
yeah, because it's like, okay, this dog, it needs to perform great, but it also needs to look the part too. Whereas it seems like there's more flexibility in the Walker breed of what they look like.
Didn't he say something about people
was
back
interesting.
west are greedy with their lines?
Hoarding their lines. Yeah, just
That's
like
a fact.
hoarding their lines.
That is a fact.
It 100%, absolutely. I mean, that's like my mentor, like he has his own line of dogs and he will not let anyone have them. Like even me, I have one male from him and he was very strict about I can't get him fixed and I can't let him breed anything. He thought like when I had that litter of puppies last year, like I thought I was in real big trouble because at first I thought the puppies were from this male from him. And so did he, just because of how they looked. Like I never realized that, you know, blue dogs, they come out looking like black and white dogs. It's kind of hard to, you know, unless you know what you're looking at. Like I was like, man, I have no idea. They could be Walker, they could be blue tick. I have no idea. But yeah, he's a hoarder to the extreme. And I know lots of guys out here like that.
Yep. Huh. Same in Arizona.
The
Vaughn guys, I know.
Different Vaughn guys.
Now, talking about the Walker guys or the Walker bloodline. I don't know exactly how much all this is true, but I had good friend telling me today that we was just talking about the English line of these pups that I got, and they said some of the English line goes back to what originally was considered a Walker dog, but it was colored up wrong, and the Walkers wouldn't accept it, and the English bloodline accepted it, and they said that dog ended up being a big producer. Like I say, I'm talking. I don't know much about that stuff, but
yeah.
Said a lot of the English line come from what was originally considered a Walker dog.
I really want to learn. I want to learn more about the English dogs because, like my 1-year-old dogs I have now that are out, they're half blue tick, a quarter Walker, a quarter black and tan. I've seen a lot of pictures of English dogs that look exactly like mine. Like I feel like they could almost pass as English.
Right.
There's a guy in there right in Winslow here that used to do all the papered English. I don't know if he's still doing much of it, but he became a rancher or something, but that's all he ran, was those papered. But he'd run Bobcat, I guess.
I'll have to Google it when we get off here, but I'm pretty sure they said it was like Hard Time Spec or something. Used to be originally like a Walker type dog, but ended up getting registered under the English bloodline. But I'm not sure.
Isn't it that so? There's some didn't lose my train of thought here, but it was like black and tan, Walkers and English were like all the same breed at one point. That's probably completely wrong, but weren't like a lot of these coon hounds, they were kind of all part of the same
spoon hounds.
Spoon hounds, sorry.
Gonna get us demonetized.
Lose your 6 cents. Take the 6 cents out of him.
It's ridiculous. We need to petition. We need to talk to YouTube and to get their stupid rules changed.
It's just YouTube too.
Have you ever tried to talk to YouTube?
No.
Didn't you already contest that,
it's like
Brett?
it's like a part of American history. the name of this breed. You know what I mean? Like,
So was Aunt
our
Jemima.
spoon hounds are part of American history.
I wish I could just mute one box at a time.
Anyways.
Oh, well. Guys, final
Yep.
thoughts. Finish up. Anything you want to say before I fall asleep? This old man's getting
You
tired.
already took a nap. He already took a nap, guys. Don't let him fool you.
I fell asleep here. I got a pillow, and I got this big old chair, and I was getting everything ready, and I fell asleep. And they do music lessons next door to me here, and usually I can hear drums or a piano or something. And I was asleep, and a dog started barking. I woke up and I thought, man, am I at home? And I was so sound asleep.
I said, Brett, let's get on a little early. He said, yeah, we'll do that. And I text him. Said, hey, I'm ready when you are. And I didn't hear nothing back. 3:30, I get that text. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
And then we had problems. It wouldn't go live for 10 minutes.
I had technical difficulties bad. It's always
We
something.
restarted.
Always something.
It's
really
the computer's
is.
fault. Always the computer's fault. Brett fixed it, though.
I admitted it was my fault. I said, no. Told Chris, I said, this isn't my fault. This is that stupid program's fault. It's not my fault. And then after I worked on it for 30 minutes, I thought, oh, no, that was my fault. So, well, cool. Yeah. Stay tuned. I got this daily number 3 that's out right now. And it's already got almost 700 views, and I just uploaded it earlier today. I had Friday will be the jaguar hunt out of a boat. It's just a real short little video, and but it's interesting to see the hounds going in a boat down a river, and then the daily number 4 will be out after that. And don't forget, Onyx Maps. If you use the code 100 years, you get 20% off, and it helps out the channel. And Old South Dog Boxes. They make good stuff. And as soon as I get my dog box here, I will show it off. So I'm kind of excited because a little box I have now in the back of my Can-Am, I can haul 5 dogs is all, and it's tight. And in this heat, you go out and you get your dogs hot and then try to get them to water by shoving them in that little bitty dog box. You kill them. And so they're making me a flatbed dog box, kind of the way I want it made, where I can haul a lot more dogs, so I can.
Do they make those?
What's that?
Do they make those for like full size pick? Or I mean, I don't have a full size pickup. But do they make them for pickups?
Oh, they make
where you
everything.
Get just a full, just replaces your bed.
Oh, yeah. Go to their Facebook page. Go to Old South Dog Boxes on Facebook and just scroll through their pictures. Man, they make some amazing stuff. And
yeah, I'm gonna have to give them a call because I don't know. I need to do something about my dog box situation. The one that I've been borrowing mine from my mentor, and it's someone else needs to borrow it. So I either need to build one, or
I said,
or
come
I might
get
need
it.
to. I know, right? Yeah, I need to do a Chris Watson style bed frame dog box with a Harbor Freight welder.
They're making mine with a water tank built into it, and a storage boxes and pod lights, and
that's super cool.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't typically hunt out of a buggy, but if I have something else to do during the day, I can get up early in the morning, take the dogs right out. I mean, I caught a lion right down there on the river. I can run down there and run the dogs down through there, and get them out for 2 or 3 hours and still be back home. If I take a mule and go somewhere, typically I'm gone all day.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but yeah. So, anything
Right on.
else,
Good deal.
guys? Chris,
Watch our channels.
go by and hit that like button.
Yep.
Hit that like button. Subscribe and comment.
Click
Ring
on
that
back
little
next
bell.
Monday.
I got one little thing. I
Yeah.
solved the mystery of the thumbs down.
Oh,
Is
that
it-
was your father-in-law.
Yes.
I thought you guys
Yeah.
seen that. I left and came back, so I didn't bring it up. I thought you guys already talked
Yeah.
about it.
You tell him he came close. He came close to getting in lots
Yeah.
of trouble there. We're going to hunt him up.
I seen that. Someone put that was your father-in-law. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
my
thought you
wife-
guys already
My wife
talked
just
about it.
sent me a message.
Oh yeah, he's in trouble.
Tell
Yeah.
Charlie. Tell Charlie next time he leaves, he's got to say goodbye.
Yeah.
We don't
I'll
allow
lecture him
that.
for you.
Huh?
Well,
I'll give him
well,
a good
Nicholas
earful.
likes the big entrance. He likes just a big leave.
Oh, yeah. He can't come on the same time that we come on. He's got him and George.
Hey man, I work a full-time job. Give me a break. Not like you freeloaders just dicking around fishing and everything.
Dicking
Hey, listen.
around.
Well, yeah. No, he don't fish no more. He's out
Freeloaders.
there bear hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, tomorrow I'm definitely not going fishing, but I am going to load the dogs up in the morning.
Oh,
You're going bear
What?
hunting.
Kick
That's
him off
right.
before we leave.
That's right.
And
We'll see.
and everybody remember, you can make these a little more interesting. Send some little clips.
Can you put your email
Google
up?
Drive is what I use. So you can send me,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you get a Google Drive, upload a little clip, and then you can we can put it on, you can tell a little story while the clip's running, and then we can share it, and then say, come over to my channel for more of this kind of stuff. So,
We'll probably critique it real easy like.
yeah. So you can do it.
Yeah.
Just
Sounds
here.
good.
I got to do it again. I got to share it again. I got to show you like I did this one last night.
All right.
This from a long
Flood's
time
washed
ago.
everything out. It's cold, frozen. Figure out a way to get through this. I take that mule, tie the reins up around that saddle horn, and I'll walk on through here. I just don't want him to get on top of me. So I let him pick his own way.
The famous Jet Johnson.
I didn't know you were a snow hunter, Brett.
There wasn't that much snow there. That was that old canyon during the wintertime. The sun never shines in it. I mean, it gets dark down the bottom of it, and it's rough. I don't even know. I don't think I'd go up there now. I don't even know why I did it back then. There was a big old lion up there somewhere.
There you go. Timothy will come build you a dog box.
That's Nicholas.
I know.
And take you bear
Might
hunting.
take him up on that.
I told him, come to
Yeah.
Arizona, go bear hunting. We'll build a dog box.
Yeah. Idaho's not that far away.
Alrighty, guys. Next Monday.
Next Monday, we're going to have the famous Calvin Redhouse from Carnivore TV. He's famous.
Awesome. Looking
We're
forward
going
to
to
it.
have him. So
That'd be cool.
As
We
legit
can talk
as they
about that
come.
bear and lion tree you did. That bear lion tree.
Yep.
Oh,
That
yeah.
jungle book action.
Who in the world else has ever treed a bear and a lion in the same tree?
I think a couple guys got on there and said, hey, I've done that. Not very many.
Oh,
God,
they
I'd
probably
love to
say
do
that.
that.
That's the
Gotta
internet.
be like single
I
digits.
treated,
Yeah.
I treated a jaguar, a lion, and a bear in a tree one time.
Jackalope.
I have a video about a Sasquatch being treed too.
There
So
you
that
go.
Oh, right.
If it's on the internet, it's possible.
True.
So, all right, guys.
Very
Thank
good.
you. I enjoy this. It's a lot
Thanks,
of fun.
everybody.
And I hope
Absolutely.
everybody else
Thanks for having
puts
us
up
on,
with
Brett.
us. All right. Oh,
See
Wednesday
you next
night,
Monday.
I'm going to be on
Oh,
Hound on the Run.
Well, we're recording on Wednesday
Recording.
night, and
Oh,
it'll go
we're
up on
recording.
Sunday.
I thought we were live.
It's not live.
Yeah.
No.
So I can make
no.
mistakes and you can cut it out.
oh yeah. Yep. He's all scripted up and ready to go.
That's right.
Okay. guys.
You'll have a script, and you just read your lines. That's it.
I
It's like
went
Biden.
to the
It's like Biden.
mountains on my mule. Just like that.
Just like that.
Exactly.
All right, guys.
All righty.
We'll
Have
see
a
you.
good
Thank
night.
you.
See y'all later.